following is a presentation of the Dragon Sports Network. The following is a presentation of the Dragon Sports Network.
You're looking live at historic Red Franklin Memorial Stadium, where tonight Class 2A Junction City has traversed across state lines and into the Piney Hills of North Louisiana to take on perennial Pelican State power Haynesville. It's the 11th border battle all time between the two programs, and as always, we've got all the action for you live from start to finish. Good evening, I'm Jacob Pumphrey, and I'm joined inside the press box by my partner in crime, the best color man in the business, Mr. Wayne Pumphrey. And I tell you what, Wayne, Junction City coming in with a little bit of, I guess, good juice from the way they've played the last 2 weeks, but they're going to have some extra challenges tonight, one being the elements. It's a wet field out there.
Absolutely, Jacob. You look at the Smackover game, first of all, you finally get a W, and I say finally, you know, after the, I guess you could say the fiasco at Harmony Grove. You get a W. It's a game you should have mercy ruled. You didn't. And Coach Smith talked about it after the game and said, okay, we got work to do. We told them after Harmony Grove we got work to do. Then last week, you saw things start coming together. And then the injury bug hits, and then you got other issues, and we're not going to get into none of that. Tonight, your team's facing some adversity. It's going to be a great measuring stick for the Dragons to see how they stack up. Yes, you want to win this game. It is a game for bragging rights, pride, and all that good stuff. But more importantly, you want to see how you respond when things are not going your way. Tonight, we'll get a good measure of that.
Yeah, Wayne, it's easy. It's easy to be the guy when things are going good, but when you find yourself with your back against the wall and all you can do is look left or right, you want to see who's right there by your side, and that's really the situation Junction City's faced with tonight. Two historic programs getting set to go after it here on the gridiron. 31 miles apart separate these two schools, and Wayne, there's a lot of history, not necessarily between the two programs, but as far as when you look into the histories of both of these programs, you could definitely talk for days about them.
Oh, as my old mammy would say, Lord, yes. Before the game, 42 Sports, of course, we had Mr. Alan Russell, and I want to thank him for coming down tonight, and him and his lovely wife come down here and hang out with us. Before the game, he went live on 42 Sports, and he had to talk about the tradition here. Folks, between these two teams tonight, 34 state and state runner-ups. 34. Of course, Haynesville's got the majority. Junction's got 10. Haynesville's got 24. Junction's has all coming since 2003. Haynesville's goes all the way back to 1924. Think about that. So, you know, if you want to just, if you're going somewhere, I just want to see a game between two traditional powers or whatever you want to call it. This is a place to be. Now, unfortunately, the weather is playing a big factor in it tonight. They're having the crowd they hope they got. They still got people coming in, as you can tell. But you want to also, like I said, see how you stack up tonight. So it's great to play a team, or let me back up and say play a program that knows how to win. And both of these programs definitely know that.
Yeah, you're right, Wayne. And I've said it once, and I'll say it again, that anytime Alan Russell and 42 Sports are on the scene, you got to think it's a big game. I would think it's a big game. It's a border battle between Junction City and Haynesville. 8-2 is where the series stands in favor of the Golden Tornado. Junction City has never won down here in Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. Stay tuned. We'll hopefully have that happen tonight. Like we said, Junction City facing a little adversity here in week 3 of the Arkansas high school football season. And the Dragons will receive the football as we start this contest. Wayne, if you're Junction City, it's what we've seen the Dragons do the previous 2 weeks is they've come out and they've started quickly. I think that's going to be a key tonight, especially knowing that you're getting the football to start the game. You're going to need to get out there and get going quick, fast, and in a hurry.
You want to see this offense get rolling, especially that offensive line come out and take control immediately. I mean, it sounds like cliche stuff we're saying, but it's the facts. You want that offensive line to settle down, get that running game going.
Back deep for the Dragons, near side will be Jamal Johnson, the senior. And on the far side, standing at around his 5-yard line off the other side of the numbers, now coming back in, is the sophomore Jordavian Williams. And I believe that's the junior Toby Franklin with it teed up. And he will kick it off. And it will be fielded at around the 16-yard line. That's the up man, and he'll just maneuver his way up the field. And ball's on the ground. Not sure who come away with it, but it's going to be a big blow for Junction City early if the Golden Tornado have it. But I think the Dragons actually are going to be able to get back on top of it. So you have to wonder, Wayne, if that's the elements already playing a little bit of a role. Although I think the rain has stopped momentarily, so that shouldn't have been an issue. But Junction City will hang on to the football here as drive number 1 for the offense starts. They'll operate from the far hash, moving left to right. Dragons wearing their white jerseys with the purple pants. And Jamal Johnson brings them out of the huddle. He'll work out of the pistol. The sophomore Williams set behind him. And Jordavian gets the first carry of the game, and he maneuvers himself up past the 35-yard line, up to around the 37. So it's going to be a good solid gain there for Jordavian. We'll call it 6 yards. Actually give him 5. 2nd and 5 coming up for Junction City.
And Jacob, like we just said a while ago, talking about we want a quick start. What you would love to see is this offense just pound out 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, just like that yards. Just work the clock, work the field.
And Johnson's going to keep here on 2nd down. He'll plow forward for a hard-earned, we'll call it 2. Should bring up a 3rd down and 3. A manageable situation here for Junction City on their opening drive of the contest.
Definitely want to convert here. Look for the Dragons once again just to keep it on the ground. Hadn't had a lot of success throwing the ball with Johnson. But, you never know. They might try it here, but more than likely they're going to try to go with Williams.
5-man front defensively, and I believe they might have got a man to jump.
I believe they did, nose guard.
And they got the nose guard to jump. It was a 5-man front for the Golden Tornado, and that's going to be an automatic first for the Dragons as the 5 will take them across the marker for the 1st down. And the officials are talking over something. And they get it marked off. And so that'll be a 1st down for Junction City. They'll spot the football at the Dragons' 45-yard line. Dragons moving left to right, still operating off of that far hash. And it's going to be 1st down and 10 Junction City. Good hard count there from Johnson. Got the nose guard up front to jump. That's the freshman, Jermarian Williams. And they break the huddle. Now Johnson's going to operate out of the shotgun. Back set to his right, and he'll follow the back, and Johnson is still on his feet, but going to be wrapped up, gang tackle, and brought down. Forward progress will get him up to the 46, so it's going to be a gain of just 1 yard, bring up 2nd down and 9, and Wayne, the front 7 of Haynesville, swarmed there on that carry from Johnson.
They were through there immediately. Too many white jerseys standing up looking around, and Haynesville shut that down immediately.
The senior Emmanuel Jackson wreaking havoc up there in the front, the defensive tackle, 5'9", 325.
325? Goodness gracious.
An absolute problem up front. Those white jerseys will have their hands full all night. They're going to fake to Williams. Johnson's going to keep it. Cut back inside. Spins out of one tackle. Still on his feet and nearly runs out of an arm tackle, but he's brought down by his jersey. But it's going to be a big gain for Jamal. 11 yards and a 1st down. And just like that, Junction City is in Golden Tornado territory.
That looked like the Jamal Johnson from the 2020 playoff run. Great move there when he got past the initial line of scrimmage. Made a nice little cut and then that little spin, and that's what you're going to need from him tonight, Jacob. You're going to need some big plays from Johnson, and so far he's already delivered one right there.
And now he's in the backfield by himself. Junction City empties it on here on 1st down and 10, and they're going to toss it to Williams, and Williams is going to be wrapped up and nowhere going. A good read there by the Haynesville defense. And so it's a little pop pass to Jordavian Williams. And he's going to lose a handful of yardage here. He's going to bring him back across the 45 up to the 47. So it's going to be 2nd down and long now for Junction City.
You hate being behind the chains like that, but if you're going to be behind the chains, be behind early where you got more opportunities to get the yards back and get back in front of them.
And Johnson's going to bring Williams once again in motion. They'll fake to him. Johnson's going to throw. He's got a man open over the middle, and the pass is incomplete, knocked out of the hands of the tight end, number 40, over the middle. We do not have
They'll have a number on him.
A number on number 40. He was wide open on the hot route. Johnson knew where he was going to go with the football immediately. Had it in his hands, but a good pop there from the secondary by the Golden Tornado, and it was near Junction City fortunate to still have the football. It was nearly picked off, but instead it falls incomplete on the wet surface here at Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. And now Junction City 3rd and long, ball at the 47-yard line. Shotgun formation, quick snap. Johnson unable to handle it. Now he's just going to air one up left side, and he's got a man, and it's incomplete.
That should be a flag.
And there's no flag on the play.
Holy Moses.
You go 31 miles north across the border, that's probably a mugging.
Goodness gracious.
But in the Piney Hills, that's just football, I reckon.
I guess so.
8:35 to play first quarter. Intended wide receiver was number 7.
So we need a very good punt here by Christopher Norman.
We're going to need Norman here, like you said, Wayne. He's going to need to try to pin one here. Dual returners for Haynesville. Going to need a good snap, too. And it's going to be high. Norman, one hand fields it. And it's going to be end over, actually a spiral punt. And it is going to take a Junction City bounce. It is fielded at the 1-yard line. Junction City with a good coverage down there, but the guy gets by. And Norman's there, and Norman's going to wrap him up and drop him. But not before. It's going to be a gain of about, a return of about 31 yards. It took a Junction City bounce, but he basically outkicked his coverage, Wayne. Dragons weren't down there quick enough. Yeah, it's going to be decent field position here for Haynesville.
Absolutely. Gave the return man an opportunity. And give Norman credit. He put his foot into it, a good one. In fact, you should get about 3 yards out of that one.
And that's a gutsy way to field it, too. You've got your back to the return team at the goal line, and you field it. That's it takes a little bit to be able to do that, and it paid off for him. Haynesville's got it 1st down and 10. Both squads playing from the far hash so far here in this one. Ball set at the 32-yard line. Golden Tornado dressed in all black with the white helmets. They'll be moving right to left. Out of that vaunted flex bone, they're going to give. That's going to be Franklin, and Toby's going to be wrapped up as he picks up 2, maybe 3 yards. Should bring up a 2nd down and 7 here for the Golden Tornado.
And this is, as you heard Coach Smith say on his show, and also when we talked with Coach Franklin, this is their bread and butter. They like to get that ball. They like to pound it, like to work the tackles, the whole 9 yards, and kind of establish control like we was hoping the Dragons could do on their initial drive. Get that offensive line and take charge.
Kyle Woodard, the quarterback for Haynesville. And they'll send just one wide receiver out wide. 2nd down and 7. Dragons with a 5-man front, and they give right up the gut. That's Franklin. They're feeding him early, and I believe he's going to fall across the line for a Haynesville 1st down. It's going to be awfully close. We'll see if they decide to move the chains.
They're going to measure.
And they're actually going to, I don't know how much I've seen that. They mark it from the inside the numbers, and now they're going to measure it. Chain gang won't have too far to walk out, just about 5 or 6 yards.
They like that. Saves some steps.
No doubt. And it's going to be awfully close. I think he's got enough, though, Wayne.
I believe he does. I believe he's got it.
My goodness, having to lean in to look, and they're going to say he didn't get it. So 3rd down. And 2.74 inches, I believe, is the official distance needed for the Golden Tornado.
Hold on. 2.63, Jacob. Now
2.63.
2.63 inches for the 1st down here. I know one thing about it. Down here in the Piney Hills, as you called it, of North Louisiana, they take measuring for 1st down. Serious.
I like that.
I like that. I'm not knocking it. I like it.
7:17 to play. First quarter action scoreless from historic Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. And you got to think with an offense like this, needing about 2 inches for a 1st down, it shouldn't be difficult.
No.
You get in there and fall forward. Woodard under center, scans. And Haynesville's going to bring everybody in tight. They've got all 11 in there close. 5 to the right side, and Woodard's going to just plow forward for the 1st down, so that'll keep the drive alive as he moves up just shy of the 45. They'll mark him at the 44. Plenty of room, or plenty of yards gained for the 1st. Clock's going to move under 7 minutes to play here, opening quarter.
And Jacob, the Dragons, I mean, it's going to be huge, especially for the linebackers, but the defensive line, like we talked about with the offensive line, defensive line has got to get some penetration and start forcing these, disrupting these plays, forcing them out of the hole they're designed to go through.
First down and 10 from the 44. Woodard takes the snap, is going to give to the back coming around the end, and missed tackle there on the edge, and still on his feet, and he's going to probably take it the distance. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Haynesville. 56 yards on the ground over left end. Junction City missed 2 tackles, and it should have been a loss, but instead they're celebrating in the end zone, and it's 6 points for the Golden Tornado with 6:23 to play here in the first quarter.
As you said, 2 missed tackles, and what happens when you don't take care of your assignment and all that results in a 54-yard touchdown run.
And running a couple players onto the field, Haynesville will try the extra point. That's Franklin with it lined up. It's going to kick it straight away. And good snap. Actually, snap was somewhat in, but no issues there on the kick, and the extra point is successful. Timeout on the field, 6:23 to play, opening quarter action. Haynesville strikes first. They lead Junction City 7-0, back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. .56 yards on the ground for the Golden Tornado, and they lead it 7-0 over Junction City. 6:23 to play here in the first quarter, as Franklin has it teed up and set to kick it back to Junction City, who started off their first offensive drive very promising, moved it into Golden Tornado territory, but then was forced to punt, and Haynesville turned that into 7 points. And that'll be fielded by Williams at his 7-yard line. He'll move forward straight ahead, patient runner, and lowers his shoulder, still on his feet. So good hard running there from Jordavian. And that's going to be good field position for Junction City. I believe they're going to mark Jordavian down at the 33-yard line. So another good start here for Junction City. Hopefully the offense can find the end zone, because, Wayne, they showed some promise there in drive number 1.
They did. I mean, if you were looking for something to kind of hang your hat on, so to speak, they made some good plays. Johnson had a couple. And let me say this about Williams. The more I watch this guy, the more I like what I'm seeing. I mean, he is showing you with a couple more rushes under his belt, he could be a pretty dynamic runner, hardcore runner, and hopefully that'll keep progressing.
Dragons break the huddle. Johnson to work out of the pistol. Williams set behind him. A single receiver to each side. Johnson takes the snap and is going to give, and that is going to be, it looks like the ball might have come out.
He was toting like a loaf of bread.
Like a loaf of Texas Giant, huh?
Yes, sir.
Dollar General on a Saturday morning.
And it is.
And it's going to be Haynesville Golden Tornado football. And putting it on the ground, not sure who that was in the backfield. I don't think it was Williams.
Well.
And now the officials are going to call a timeout. We'll step aside with them. 7-0. Junction City turns it over on first play of drive number 2. We're back in 60 seconds on the Dragon Sports Network. Out of the officials' timeout, 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter under a tornado warning in Haynesville. Not literally, folks, no need to panic, but it is becoming somewhat of a situation for Junction City. Trailing by 7, and they've just turned the football over at the 35-yard line, and the Golden Tornado in business once again. Bring a man in motion. That's Jackson, and they're going to pitch out, and a good read by Junction City. Couple of guys there. Spins out of one tackle, makes one man miss, still on his feet, and is going to move down inside the 20, but there is a flag, and it might be a hold, especially coming from the side judge here. Really only actually going to be a block in the back on the offense. That's going to help Junction City out greatly. My goodness, Wayne, it's almost looking like there's the field's only slick for one team, and it's the guys in white jerseys with the way the Haynesville back was maneuvering there. That was Jaden Green, the freshman, several freshmen playing for the Golden Tornado tonight.
I tell you what, just watching Green right there, you wouldn't think he's a freshman.
That's
you think
it.
he might be at least a junior.
Yeah.
It was a good move, and a lot of it, the field is slippery, don't get me wrong, but Mr. Green helped a few of them get to the floor.
Oh, that's right, yeah, definitely.
He helped a few of them.
So it'll be first down and 14 now. There's a spot foul. It'll back them up to the 39-yard line. Man in motion. And they're going to give to Franklin right up the gut, and a good tackle there at the second level by Christopher Norman.
And Jacob, we've talked about this repeatedly on different on not just this broadcast, but different ones. Talking about assignments, you got to make your reads. You got your assignment. It's the old Bill Belichick. Just do your job. Just do your job. And that's what the Dragons are going to have to do, because these Haynesville backs, they got some young ones, but they are fast.
Well, Wayne, when you're playing an offense like this, it is do your job. If you don't do your job, the guy who's supposed to make the tackle might not be able to, and that's how you see these big gains, especially coming out of this flex bone. Woodard under center, and they're going to fake to the back, so they're going to give to the back, and another flag on the play, and still on his feet, and hard hit out there on the edge, Chris Norman. That was a gain of 12, but there was a flag early in the rush. It's got to be a hold, and that's what it's going to be. So Haynesville hurting themselves here in drive number 2. And, Wayne, we've said this before, when your opponent's making mistakes,
let them.
Let them.
Yeah, get out of their way. If they start messing up, encourage them to keep doing it. But going back, Jay, to what we said, they got to, and definitely in this flex bone type package, wing tee, whatever, you got to stay in your lanes. You got to make your reads. You got to do your assignment. You don't, it goes 56 yards to the house like it did a while ago. One missed tackle, but we had an opportunity to still get them. Missed it. The first one should have been a loss. Should have been about 7-8 yard loss. Next guy would have hit him about the line of scrimmage, but he don't bring them down. And now you're down 7-zip.
That's going to back Haynesville up big time. It's second down and forever. 21 to go for the Golden Tornado. Ball's at the 46-yard line of Junction City. They're going to run out of the I formation now. Could potentially be a passing situation. They're going to keep it on the ground, and Junction City's there. Nice job.
Good job.
Nice job. Jamal Johnson forced him back inside and helping knock down the ball carrier was Chance Rowland, the senior linebacker.
And you want to get off the field here. Shut this down. It's 3rd and 21. Don't let them do nothing fancy and get away with it. Shut it down, get the ball back, crank the offense up.
Big third down here for the Dragons after they gave it right back to Haynesville after the Golden Tornado scoring drive. Ball marked at the 44-yard line of Junction City. 3rd down and 19 to go. Clock at 3:45 and ticking. They'll bring a man in motion. Woodard under center. Again, I formation for the Golden Tornado. It's going to be a passing down, and he's going to keep it. He's going to be able to run with it, and trying to get out there to the marker, and just about nearly does. He needed 19, and Wayne, I think he got 17, and that's going to make it very manageable. They're going to go for it here. I mean, that is what you did not need to happen. When you're coming out of the I formation, there's about only 2 or 3 guys that are going to be able to run a pass route. You got to be able to cover them. But the thing is, when you put pressure on the quarterback, you've got to be able to contain. Junction City did not do that.
No, they rushed in on them, and nobody. I mean,
and fortunately,
you got to go at an angle.
Fortunately for the Dragons, Woodard was marked out at the 32-yard line, actually the 31. So it's now going to be 4th and 6 as opposed to 4th and 2.
They're still
going for it. It just makes it a little bit more challenging for them. They're going to get back in the flex bone. Woodard under center. Franklin sit directly behind him. Should have been a false start there with the leg kick, and the ball's on the ground, and It's going to be, I believe, Junction City football. Junction City football regardless. But it's actually going to be a fumble recovery because the Dragons are going to have it 2 yards up from where they would have at the original line of scrimmage. So what should have been a false start ends up in a fumble. Junction City recovers on 4th down, and the Dragon offense back to work, Wayne, with 3:22 to play, first quarter action.
Like to see Mr. Johnson do his thing here, start showing some of them moves he showed a while ago on a couple runs.
Johnson looks over to his right. Allen gets set, and it's going to be a stretch give to Williams. He runs out of one-arm tackle. He's still on his feet. Shot out of a cannon across midfield. 35-30, 25-20. You won't catch him. 10-5. Touchdown, Junction City. 68 yards to pay dirt, and the Dragons strike back.
Mr. Williams, I am impressed. I tell you, Jacob, that young man, he's not bigger than a minute. He might not even be bigger than 30 seconds, to be honest with you. But the young man goes through there, and when he cleared that last level, he kind of dropped it down to another gear, didn't he?
A gear me or you couldn't afford to have.
No.
3:07 to play, 68 yards, certainly a career long for Mr. Jordavian Williams and Junction City. Not much of a sign of a kicking game this year. Going to line up and go for 2 with a chance to potentially take the lead here in the first quarter. Johnson's going to keep it, and he's going to spin over the top and in.
Good effort, great effort.
What an effort from Jamal Johnson, and just like that, Junction City on top, 8-7, 3:07 to play, first quarter action, timeout on the field. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got a good one developing here in the Piney Hills. Back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. .307 to play, first quarter action. Junction City 8, Haynesville 7. The 11th meeting all time between the two programs. And Wayne, I tell you what, that was a pretty good, impressive offensive drive for Junction City.
Well, we were talking about during the break opportunity. And Mr. Williams got his opportunity 2 weeks ago against Smackerville. They put him in, they let him run the ball. He showed he wanted to tote it. Last week, he got the opportunity again. Tonight, put in a lead role. He has come through so far. Real quick, let me jump to the USW scoreboard. First quarter, Prescott 30, Hope 0.
Not much hope there, Wayne.
Oh, I'll give you 8-5 on that one, buddy.
Yeah.
Good one, good one. Now let's see if that defense will give us a solid 10 effort here. That kind of thing right there, a play like that sparks a team.
Yeah, that's what you need right there. You have to fight back. We talked about it in the pregame, Wayne. When you find yourself back against the wall and all you can do is look right or left or you want to see who's there, well, who's in white jerseys, that's who's there. And it's going to be a sky kick and no fair catch, and I believe Junction City's on it. Or they were on it. They had a guy right there. Why did he not recover it? Well, he may have. No signal yet.
Dragon ball.
Well, no signal yet. There's a flag on the
hold
play.
everything. Yeah, hold everything. We got a flag.
I did not see a fair catch. There was no
fair catch.
There was no. And they're going to say.
What is he? All right, Jacob, what did he call? All right, here we go. He's going to do it now. Oh, boy. Not sure what he's done.
I guess they called the kick catch interference. I didn't see I didn't see a fair catch. It went 10. It went 12, in fact. And now they're going to move the football up across Junction City territory 15, down to the Dragons. That guy's about to walk back up to the Hardy Mart. Wayne, my goodness, son.
Yeah,
slow down.
I told him, heck, I'll go get him something to drink if he's thirsty.
At the 40.
I don't agree with that.
At the 43-yard line of Junction City, so that's where Haynesville's got it. Dragons nearly came away with a big break. They would have had the football and the momentum. But instead, now it's going to go back to the Golden Tornado in the old flex bone. And that's going to give to Franklin. He's been the workhorse so far tonight. He's going to pick up, I'd say, probably around 6, Wayne, as he moves down across the 40-yard line. 2:47, clock moving. Junction City 8, Haynesville 7 if you're just joining us. It was a 56-yard rushing touchdown from the Golden Tornado. Junction City turned around and used Mr. Jordavian Williams' 68-yard gallop to pay dirt, and a 2-point run by Jamal Johnson to take the lead. Woodard in the huddle, takes the knee to give out the play call. Play clocks, I don't know if they're not working or what, but the officials just called a timeout. Maybe he noticed it.
I think he did, yeah.
30. They're paused at 31. Now they reset. There should at least be about 27 on the play clock. They're going to run it to 25. Which they're already set at the line. A 25 is probably, I mean, it's more just a technicality now, but the clock appears to be.
Yeah, now they're just going to start back at 40 to let it run.
Set,
now there they go. Now they flip it to 25.
Now they should be good to go. So it's going to be 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard carry from Toby Franklin. Woodard under center, brings a man in motion, and miscommunication in the backfield, and Junction City nearly with another opportunity, and they're about to get the Dragons for jumping on the pile. That's a cheap call.
Very cheap.
But I know that's what the that's cheap right there. That's cheap. You can mug them if it's in the air, but when it's on the ground, I guess they get a little sensitive, I reckon. That's awful. That is awful. Automatic 1st down after some miscommunication in the Haynesville backfield. Especially in a situation like that, Wayne. No direct shot to the head. It was more so, it's a contact sport, for crying out loud.
Well, you remember the last time we were in Louisiana, or that I can remember, over at Farmville, we got flagged for hitting too hard.
1:45 to play, first quarter action. Big penalty keeps moving alive the Haynesville drive, and wrapped up and dropped for a loss, Chris Norman. He's brought the hard hat and lunch pail so far tonight, Wayne.
That's about the 3rd solid tackle he's had. And, of course, he had about a 43-yard punt earlier when we had to punt on the initial drive. But this is what you expect out of Christopher Norman. He's a solid player. He's going to give you everything he's got, and you'll see more out of him tonight. And we're going to need to see more tonight.
I was just about to say, you're going to need to see more out of Norman tonight. As it's going to be 2nd down and 10. No gain there for the Golden Tornado. Final 60 seconds of the first quarter are upon us. Slow is a man in motion from left to right, and they're going to give to Franklin, and he's going to barrel forward for a couple of yards. We'll give him 3 from the press box. 2nd down, actually it's going to be, 3rd down and 7 coming for the Golden Tornado. Obviously 4-down territory with this offense, Wayne.
They will. There's no doubt about it. This type of offense, and they want to get themselves in a position. Of course, with 3rd down, and you need they got 6 on the board. Looks like a 7 to me. But anyway, this 4-down territory, they're going to keep it on the ground, push. Just look for them to swing it outside again. Was that freshman Green? Better keep an eye on him.
Number 3, Jaden Green.
Yep,
there he is. One of the wings. He's actually in the backfield. He's in the backfield, and they're going to pitch it to him, Wayne. And setting the edge. And still on his feet, bouncing around, and look who's there, Wayne. Christopher Norman, a great job. It won't show up in the box score on Saturday morning, but Jamal Johnson set the edge, forced Green back inside, and Norman was there, Johnny on the spot, and that'll do it for the first quarter of action. The Golden Tornado faced with a 4th down and 2 when we come back. Junction City 8, Haynesville 7. Don't go anywhere, folks. Back in 60 seconds on the Dragon Sports Network. Second quarter action just about underway here from historic Red Franklin Memorial Stadium in the heart of Claiborne Parish. Junction City 8, Haynesville 7. Didn't give us some scores.
Camden Harmony Grove 0, Harding Academy 3, quarter 2. Brought to you by the USW.
Whoa.
And
hey.
one of the Pick'em games, Wayne. Warren 20, Louisiana Franklin Parish 0.
Hey, I
Don't
think we
go
all
ag-
went.
don't go
Warren,
against
didn't
Bo.
we? Yeah, don't go against Bo. Bo knows.
First play of the second quarter, Haynesville breaks the huddle. They're faced with a 4th down and 2 from the Junction City 19, just inside the red zone. And operate out of the flex bone, two backs behind them. And they're going to give to Franklin right up the middle, untouched until he gets to the 3rd level, and he's inside the 5-yard line. Mark him down at the 4, a 15-yard carry on 4th down and 2. I don't know if it could get any easier for the Golden Tornado than that, Wayne.
I don't think so. It looked like everybody bunched in toward
Crashed
the
in.
middle.
It looks like
they
they crashed in.
and they just ran out right off tackle.
Right
Jacob.
off right tackle, exactly. Good play call by Haynesville. And now they're set up nicely here at the 4-yard line, trailing Junction City 8-7. And they're going to give to Franklin once again, and a good job in the backfield, but unable to bring him down before he stretches across the goal line, and he's fired up. And Haynesville regains the lead at 13-8. And you got to think they're probably going to have to go for 2 here, Wayne, to make it just to get it back to a 7-point game.
They are.
And so this is where if you're Junction City, you can really start to continue to play this into your advantage if you can get a stop right here to keep it then at 5.
This could be it's huge right now. You want to stop them and keep it, like you said, at 5, but it becomes even bigger if you stop them here on down the road.
11:26, untimed down here, 2-point try for the Golden Tornado. And it's going to be a pitch out and in there easily.
Arm tackle.
In there easily. 11:26 to play here in the first half. Haynesville regains the lead. They lead by 7. 15-8 is our score. We're back in 30 seconds on the Dragon Sports Network.
$11:26 remaining in the first half. Haynesville now up 15-8. Golden Tornado moving it down the field, aided by 3 big penalties. Take the lead, and now the Dragons turn, and hopefully Jacob will get a little something going here again.
Yeah, hopefully so. It's all about being able to respond, Wayne. I hate to keep harping on what we talked about in the pregame, but it just continues to hold true. Junction City, they're going to have to respond. They've shown that they can. Will they be able to here down 15-8? Line drive kick in and out of the hands. You're going to have to get on the football. You can't just look at it bounce around. It's picked up by Williams at the 15. He's still on his feet, running hard, and he's going to get what he can, and that's a late hit. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, a late hit.
Number 4, Jordan.
Holy cow.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh,
He was a yard out of bounds and blasted.
we got a guy lay on a guy as if he jumped on a beanbag earlier, and we get 15. Williams, who, like you said, Wayne, is no bigger than a toothpick, gets blasted out of bounds, and all we get from is cheers. They might have dapped up the official on the near side for all we know. My goodness, Williams made something out of nothing there. He fielded it from his 15. He was able to get it up to the 26-yard line. That's where Junction City's got it. They'll operate right to left from the near hash. Johnson out of the pistol, and they're going to give to Williams. He seems to be okay. He's going to plow forward and still kind of moving the pile. He moves up across the 30-yard line to around the 32. And coming out of the pile with the football, and the way this one's been officiated so far, it wouldn't surprise me if they said it belonged to Haynesville. Under 11 minutes to play here in the first half. I'm sorry, there's not much that gets me fired up, but that when you're watching the play develop and you see a young man get absolutely blasted out of bounds when he's standing on the
he's already run out of bounds
on the black Visqueen that's set up down there.
Unbelievable.
And, my goodness gracious.
And to go back to what you said, the other one where you get a guy for trying to get to the ball, Whatever.
Out of the shotgun, 2nd down and 5. Johnson's going to keep it, runs out of one arm tackle, following a block, and is going to be wrapped up from behind. But that's a good little run there from Jamal Johnson. He's going to pick up 3. It's going to make it 3rd down and 1. They'll spot the ball at the 35-yard line of Junction City.
Yeah, he worked the ball up, Jacob, and put the Dragons in a very good position here. You got a 3rd and 1. Let's see if the Dragons try to go right at them here or try to work it outside again.
Clock's going to move under 10 minutes before the next snap. 3rd down and 1. Junction City going to operate out of the shotgun. They're going to stack it heavy to the right side. Johnson's just going to plow forward, and he's got it. And he's still on his feet, and he's going to pick up a couple more than he probably should have, Wayne. That's just to credit the hard running of Jamal Johnson.
And, Jacob, they're bringing the beef back in, if you see it there, folks.
Yeah.
78 and 76. Ooh, Lordy. As my old Pat will say, that's some big youngins right there.
640 combined pounds between the young gentlemen, Emmanuel Jackson and Jermetrius Speech.
This will be a good time to go to that stretch run.
Especially to the left. You got the wide open part of the field set to the right, and they're going to give in the backfield. That's Norman on the carry. He's running hard. He's going to pick up a solid 2. Forward progression will get him up to the 42-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Dragons are going to need to get to midfield for a 1st down. Clock's under 9.5 to play. Dragons trail 15-8. Haynesville struck first. Junction City responded to take the lead, and then Haynesville answered back. And now the Dragons break the huddle. They send a single receiver to each side of the formation. Single man coverage to the bottom, and it's a hot route over the middle. He's wide open. 40, 35, 30. Still on his feet. He's going to run down inside the 15 all the way to the 10. A big-time pitch and catch 58-yard pass from Jamal Johnson. And he just found the hot route, Wayne, the tight end, down the middle of the field. He was run down from behind, but Junction City's in the purple zone at the 10.
And big opportunity here. Like you said, Jacob, you got to respond. You got to respond. The Dragons, big opportunity right here.
Jacob Smith checks in for Ryan Allen, brings the play to the huddle.
And we talked about before, early in the season, you know, you got to be able to throw the ball some. You got to have some type of passing game. Plays like that right there, a defense has to respect it, and that changes up their philosophy. And we got
and Haynesville's going to call a timeout.
Yeah.
We'll step aside
Take
with
it
them.
with them.
Junction City knocking on the door with 8:33 to play. First half action. We're back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to a historic Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. Field seems to have dried up a little bit, Wayne. I tell you what, the atmosphere's starting to pick up. Looks like a couple more Dragon fans might have rolled in from the parking lot following first quarter action, starting to fill up a little bit over there.
Yep.
And coming out of the Haynesville timeout, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Thompson and the gang have drawn up.
Well, you hope they draw up something here that can either help us tie the game or take the lead. I'd like to see Williams make another nice little run here.
Junction City coming out of the Haynesville timeout, 1st and goal from the 10. They're going to fake to Norman. Johnson's going to run through. One guy spins out of another tackle. He's inside the 5, down to the 4. Wayne, it didn't look like he was going to get much of nothing. And then the magic that is the running of Jamal Johnson moves Junction City down to the 3.
Yeah, I'm going to say about the 3. Yeah.
A 7-yard carry from Jamal Johnson. Would have been shocked if he would have gotten 2 the way it developed early on.
Well, that's what I was expecting. Well, he'll get 2 or 3 here, it looks like, as the play develop. But then he makes those moves. I call them dancing with the star moves. And next thing you know, he's on the 3-yard line, 7-yard gain.
And 2nd and goal from the 3. They give to Norman. He has to hop over a man in the backfield. And the whistles will blow it dead. I believe they'll just give him back to the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd and goal, Junction City. Looking to potentially
I'm surprised Williams is not in there.
And now I believe Junction City might have called a timeout, and they did. They're going to talk things over. We're going to step aside. 7:26 to play. First half action, 15-8's our score. Dragons knocking on the door back in 60 on the Dragon Sports Network. (15-8's our score. Coming out of the timeout, having issues with the game clock, trying to get it reset.
Yeah,
I'd be willing to bet there's not an official in this stadium that knows what was on the game clock.
I got to admit, I don't either. I looked up, and that's why I was asking you during the timeout, what's going on with the game clock? All at once, it was still running, and we were under a minute.
So officials talking to the Haynesville coaching staff. My guess, Wayne, is they might have put a timer on it for like a somewhat of a timeout, and it should reset to what the clock was at, but it's just a matter of letting it run down fully.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
Probably one of the worst settings you can have on an athletic clock of any sort. I know a couple of colleges that have that in their gymnasiums, and it's just a little risky in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of taking off the game clock to put up a timeout. That's why you keep a stopwatch at the scores table.
Sound like you've been there before.
I will admit that I've been around a couple of college basketball games in my life, and that's exactly what happened. Although 7:26 to play here in the first half, Junction City knocking on the door. Third down and one. We're going to say from the 2. Music still playing, and they finally turn it off, and Jamal Johnson turns it in to 6 points. Touchdown, Junction City. 15-14 now our score. The Dragons with another 2-point try coming to potentially regain the lead. And Wayne, we talked about it during the commercial break. When you get down here against an offense like Haynesville's that can just hold the ball, eat clock, you've got to turn it into points. And by points, I mean 6, not 3. And now they've got a chance to potentially make it 8, which would give them the lead. And there's your buddy, Wayne Williams, check back into the ballgame.
Yeah, he is back in there.
Dragons going to snap, and that's going to be Norman straight ahead, and Haynesville not fooled at all as the 2-point try will be unsuccessful. 15-14 our score, 7:21 to play here in the first half. Timeout on the field. The Golden Tornado by a single point. We've got a good one here in Claiborne Parish, folks. Don't go anywhere. Back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network.
.7:21 remaining in the first half. The score, Haynesville 15, Junction City 14. The Dragons just capping off another drive with Jamal Johnson doing the honors. And now, down a point, Jacob, you look at that defense and say, hey, let's get a stop and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're Junction City, I mean, this is a ball game. You're in this ball game. It's definitely one where you've got an opportunity here, especially, Wayne, not just a stop, but a quick stop. That way you get your offense back out on the field and allow them to build off the previous drive that they just had.
That's right, because you got to be feeling good about yourself. Hey, we finished this, we did it, and they did it by driving without any aid of penalties. And let's get that defense out there, take care of business, get the ball back. Let's get going again.
A couple score updates for you. Out in Longview, Bryant down 3-0 in the first quarter. That one's developing, I think, how most people thought it was going to be a dogfight from start to finish. And also our favorite team out of Dallas County trailing by 2 touchdowns to Monticello. And if you need any help finding out who that might be, and if you do not recognize the sarcasm, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I will tell folks that was the USW scoreboard update, and I'll leave it alone.
It's going to be fielded the ensuing kickoff, and the returner's going to move it up to around the 31. Taking it back was Keegan Goodwin, the senior tight end on the return, and it's going to set Haynesville up with some pretty good field position here as they lead Junction City 15-14 in what has been an eventful first half.
You got the Haynesville roster. What, 78 and 76? What class are they?
76, Mr. Jackson is a senior. Jermetrius Speech is a sophomore.
Holy Moses. Man, I'd hate to have his grocery bill.
7:14 to play first quarter, first half, and it's going to be a get. That's Green, still on his feet. Patient runner is Green. Kind of reminds me of the way Williams runs the football, Wayne.
He took the words out of my mouth.
He very patient running behind blocks, and it pays big dividends for him as he moves the football up to the 47-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 11 and a first down for the Golden Tornado.
And he is a freshman, correct?
Yes, according to the roster that I have, he is a freshman.
Wow. I tell you what, I like I don't like him seeing him run against us, but I like the way this young man runs. And you can see why in a program like Haynesville, you're a freshman and playing. That says a lot.
They don't run just anybody out there.
No, sir.
6:40, clock ticking south. 1st and 10. After the 11-yard run from Green, he gets the call again in Junction City. Great job responding there. He was just about to cut it back across the green, and several Dragons were in on the stop.
Well, great job. They made, read the blocks, saw how the play was developing, and when Green started to make his move, they made their move. Because if they hadn't, Jacob, he might have turned it into a foot race.
And Haynesville, Wayne, obviously with this offense, you get in no hurry. Clock's going to be under 6 before the next snap. Inching closer to Junction City territory. Ball's at the 47-yard line. No gain there. Now we've got a timeout.
I believe.
And it's for the officials.
Yes. Yeah, this is going to be an official timeout. We're going to step away for 30 seconds, folks. You're watching Junction City football on the DSN. Six minutes remaining in the first half. Haynesville 15, Junction City 14. And folks, if you're just joining us, we've had some fireworks already. In fact, we had enough explosives going on out here on the field to dry it off a little bit. And looking for some more as we go. And right now, I'm fixing to turn it back over to the man who once danced the Charleston dance with Fast Fanny at the Gigolo Club in Yancey. The voice of the Junction City Dragons, Mr. Jacob Pumphrey.
Man, you just bringing out all the receipts tonight. Okay, 6 minutes to play. First half action. Dragons showing blitz, and they're going to set out on the edge, and that's a hold. And thank you, we got a call. There it'll work, and there's another hold. And so, folks, I'll tell you, he's running down the field, and he's going to score, but there's going to be 2 flags on the play. One of them's going to be before the play, and it's going to be a hold. And Coach Smith's already letting the head official know that he wants to run that back. And I don't blame him. I mean, Wayne, you didn't know if it was. I'm not big on my wrestling terminology there, nor what they're called. But I think Thursday Night Raw might be a thing.
That would be it.
Well, it got delayed today because old boy had Johnson out there with one arm underneath the shoulder pads and the other around the neck. He looks like he's about to just drop him. Well, and fortunately for Junction City, which hadn't always been the case so far tonight. An official was aware of what was going on and threw the flag.
Well, we got 3 flags down. We got another one at the 39-yard line, and we got another one that came after the play ended at the 6, 7, 8-yard line inside the 10. Now they're picking them up. There's the hold.
So 2 holdings and an unsportsmanlike conduct. One's going to be declined, happened during the play, but they might be able to tack on both one holding and an unsportsmanlike, especially if it come after the play. Because one would be during the play and the other would be a dead ball.
The dead ball one, I guarantee you, was the one inside the 10. So, yeah, they're backing them up now. Let's see how far they keep going, though. Keep going. Keep going.
And there they go again. Yes,
well,
that's
yeah,
going to be
safe. He needs help with his math. I'm willing to come down there.
Miss Waller taught you right, didn't she?
Miss Estelle Waller, 5th grade math. I can help him out. There we go.
That'll work. 5:54 to play here in the first half in Haynesville. Goodness gracious. 2nd down. Wayne, they've got to get to the Junction City 43-yard line for a first down, and they just spotted the football at the Haynesville. I believe that's going to be the Haynesville 18. So that's going to be 2nd and 36.
You definitely want to keep them where you got them right now.
Junction City making some changes in the secondary, and they're going to throw here. Pressured is Woodard. He throws on the run. The pass is caught, and that's not what you need to happen. And you're going to need to wrap up and tackle, and they're going to take it to the house. Going to take it to the house. All the way to the house. Junction City had them with their back against the wall, but you want to talk about being able to respond. That's how you do it, Wayne.
Well, 11 should have made the tackle. He flat out missed it. And then I'm not sure what was happening on the other one because it was like a little arm tackling effort, and that's not going to do you any good. You have a 2nd 36 and they score, that is all on you.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. I think that was more Junction City's failure than it was Haynesville's execution. Credit the Golden Tornado, not taking anything away from them. But I think that should have been, if anything, a gain of about 20 as opposed to a gain of, if my math serves me correct, 83 yards.
83.
And it's now a 7-point game. Extra point team out to potentially make it an 8-point contest. Johnson trying to run off the field, and they're going to throw a flag.
Now what's the flag
I guess
on?
Johnson didn't get off the field in time. And so now they're going to line up, and it looks like they may go for 2 here if they're going to be able to inch this half distance to the goal.
Yeah, they are because they're fixing to bring back in 76. Yeah, he's coming. Well,
76 is.
Yep, here they go. They're bringing the offense back. Yep.
So Junction City caught with 12 on the field, and now that's going to move it up half the distance to the goal.
Well, now they're saying hold everything. We're not going to have the penalty.
Well, they didn't.
Did they wave it off? Now he calls timeout. I'm not sure what's going on. Haynesville thought it was a penalty because they had 76, the offensive lineman, the one I was asking you about, the big guy. They were bringing him back in, and Green was checking in.
And now they're bringing.
Now the police are coming on the field.
So they're being direct.
They are pointing at fans on the junctions.
They're being directed to the fence.
Here, okay.
4 officers on the field. I'll give you a little play-by-play of it. Probably better than what I do on a normal Friday night. Two of them are heading toward the fence. I guess there was some
comments made.
I guess it's probably just going to be initially, I guess, a warning. And officials appear to be.
So the flag, I think, is going to be concerning that, not Johnson. Because they did not snap the ball, so I don't see how they could get Johnson. That's what I was thinking.
I was like, he's throwing the flag early.
He's throwing the flag, and the ball hadn't even been snapped.
Johnson was just about off the field, and the ball hadn't been snapped.
So that's what it was.
And so they're going to resume play here. The official.
All right, here we go.
Several officers still talking to some fans along the far side of the fence. Extra point attempt coming. And the kick is no good. The kick is no good. It was wide right, and that's going to help Junction City. It's going to keep it at a 7-point advantage here with 5:22 to play in the first half. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. 5:22 to play, first half action. It's getting chippy here in Claiborne Parish. 21-14 is our score, a 7-point Haynesville lead over Junction City.
Yeah, the excitement has increased dramatically along the Junction City fence, and now it's like it's starting to settle down. I think what the Dragon fans are informing the policemen that they do not like the officiating.
I can't blame them.
I can't blame them. But we're through with that.
And line drive kick and just let it go out of the back of the end zone. That's the best you can do there. Not a bad kick at all, but fortunately for Junction City, it's just going to go out the back of the end zone, and that will do it. As that'll position Junction City with a drive start here at 5:20 to play in the second quarter.
And Jacob would love to see this offense crank it up again. I'd see Williams get a few more touches here. He's really showing some promise. And it don't take much for him to make something happen. And then you got him paired with Johnson. You really got something good going.
1st and 10 for Junction City from the 20. Dragon's going to throw here, and they're going to throw it up left side. Good throw. Incomplete. He had a man, just overthrew him. Down the left sideline, you can credit Haynesville there. That was pretty good coverage out there from DeMondre Martin, the sophomore. And then Green was also on the coverage, Wayne.
Very good. I like the way they position their. You know, sometimes you got a young corner. He wants to reach and grab, and he knew the ball was coming, but he's kind of positioned himself where the receiver have a hard time getting to it, not without interfering. Good job.
And 2nd down and 10, they're going to give to Williams, and there's a flag coming from the umpire, and that was thrown pretty quickly. I'm not sure what it necessarily could be. We'll see what the call here is. The clock's going to stop at 4:35 here in the second quarter. Dragons trail by 7, 21-14 if you're just joining us, and they're going to get Junction City with a chop block inside the tackle, so that's going to back Junction City up. Now, credit the Dragons, Wayne. This is one of only a few offensive penalties we've seen from them so far in the first half. You have cleaned it up a lot on that side of the football.
Yeah, if you grade them on the first half so far up to the 4:35 mark here we got, defensively haven't been a lot of penalties on us, and the offense has really done a good job so far, like you said, of cleaning it up. Because the first 3 games, let me back up, the first 2 games, penalties absolutely, especially offense. I mean, combined the first 2 games, we probably had alone 16 penalties on false start. And tonight, you can tell things are getting better, and hopefully they'll keep progressing.
Haynesville declined the penalty. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for Junction City.
Don't want to give the Dragons too many chances. Don't blame them.
They've got to get to the 30 for the first down. 4:35 to play second quarter. Johnson sets Williams from the left to the right. 10 on the play clock. And Johnson rolls out, and he runs by his block. He's going to throw on the run. It's picked off.
Fast.
It's picked off, and I'm not real sure what you got to live to fight another down. At this point, you'll just treat it as a big punt return, I guess. But falling away, you definitely just don't want to. You want to let Norman have his chance to potentially try to boom one and see where they can position that. But turnover Junction City, they give it back to the Golden Tornado. They'll have it at the 26-yard line here with 4:27 to play in the first half.
With a punter like Norman also, Jacob, he's good at, we talked about it last year. He can get the most out of a roll out of any punter ever seen. You'd like to see him just have his chances here and maybe play some field position. He gets off one that backs him up 40 with no return. You're better off there than you are looking at the ball sitting on your own 27 before the half.
Woodard under center. Takes the snap's going to give to Franklin right up the middle. He's got a big hole to run through, lowers his shoulder at the second level, and that's going to be a big positive gain. I believe that's going to be about 9 on first down. Bring up a 2nd and short as the clock will probably tick below 4 minutes before the next snap.
On the 17-yard line brings up 2nd and 1.
And keep in mind, Haynesville gets the ball to start the second half. So you really would love to keep them out of the end zone here. Last thing you want to do is go in halftime down 2 possessions.
out of the flex bone. Woodard under center. And they're going to pitch it right. And tackled nicely done by Josh Norman. I believe he may keep him from, have kept him from a first down, excuse me. They're going to say a gain, no gain, actually, to bring up third down and short now. Actually, they'll give him about a half a yard.
And that makes about 4 or 5 solid tackles he's had alone, shutting down a play.
And now they move the chains for a first down.
Wow.
3:21, clock rolling. 21-14, Dragons really need to find a way to keep the Golden Tornado out of the end zone. Wayne, you don't want to be down 2 scores with this offense and knowing that they get the ball to start the third quarter. And they're going to give into the backfield and runs over a man at around the 11-yard line.
Number 5, Shakarius Turner, brought down around the 10-yard line.
That's Turner. Clock continues to run, and Haynesville in no hurry and really no need to be, up by 7. Looking to add a little more here. Junction City going to have to employ that bend but don't break defense. Hard count at the line of scrimmage. Again, they give to the back this time. He runs into a man, still on his feet, running strong. The ball's on the ground, and Junction City had an opportunity, but Haynesville's going to get back on top of the football. That was, again, Turner on the carry.
Shakarius Turner on the run again.
And he gets down to the 5-yard line. So it'll be first down and goal for Haynesville.
And, of course, like you said a while ago, Jacob, they're not going to get no hurry here.
No, there's no need to.
Work this clock as much as they can.
That's good enough for a first down to bring up 5 and goal.
And then they come out of the locker room, start second half with the ball.
Yeah, clock's going to be well under 2 minutes before this next snap. Woodard just now gets to the huddle. 17 on the play clock. They're going to let this one run all the way down. First down and goal from the 5. Junction City with the 5-man front. And Haynesville's going to call timeout with 1:43 to play in the first half. They've got it first down and goal from the 5. We'll be back here in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. Big situation here late in the first half. Haynesville with it first down and goal from the 5. 1:43 to play before the intermission. Golden Tornado have called a timeout.
They're going to be sure of themselves, Jacob, what they're going to do here. You got a first and goal at the 5. You got an opportunity to take complete control here.
Junction City's going to need to make a play defensively. Well, you don't want to just say turnover, but it's going to have to be either on downs or they're going to have to force a turnover. Really can't afford to let them in the end zone here. First and goal from the 5. Coming out of the timeout. And they give to Franklin and bounces off one man, and he's in easily. Not much effort needed there. In from 5 yards out, and it is 27-14. Haynesville on top of the Dragons.
Number 4, Toby Franklin for the Tornado.
Just an off-tackle play, nothing fancy. And he hit the hole was open and basically walked in. And I believe, Jake, yeah, they're going to
they're going to kick it. They've got a somewhat reliable kicker, so they're going to put them out there. This would potentially make it back to a 14-point, or for the first time tonight, a 14-point Haynesville lead. Junction City still going to have a minute and 38 to work with, and they've got 2 of their 3 timeouts. Snap is down, and the kick is not much effort on the rush. Kick is good. Timeout on the field. Haynesville 28, Junction City 14. Dragons with not much time to work with, but still hopefully enough to find the end zone before the intermission. Back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. .98 seconds remain here before the halftime break. Haynesville set to kick it off to Junction City. Golden Tornado leading by 14. 28-14 is our score. Dragons turned it over deep in their own territory, and Haynesville made them pay. Turned it into 7 points, and they lead by 2 touchdowns as Franklin's got it teed up and a line drive boot, and it's going to be a false start.
Flag on the play.
And I believe Coach Smith's going to back them up and make them force them to kick it again.
Yes, sir, I believe so. Try to get a good return out of this. You got 2 guys back there that can definitely make it happen.
You certainly do.
So we're going to redo it again.
They're going to back them up to the 35-yard line.
5-yard line. And like you said, Jacob, really need a score here and then a big defensive effort coming out of the locker room. That's what's on the menu right now.
That's going to be a little bit of a softer line drive kick, fielded by Williams at his 16-yard line. He's going to follow behind Johnson. He's going to bounce it out to the Dragon sideline. He's still on his feet across the 40, across the 45, and pushed out of bounds. And finally a flag. There we go.
There we go, guys. Y'all do have a flag in there.
Goodness. Finally a late hit out of bounds. Actually, a second flag ended up coming in.
And now we got some mouthing going on.
And 60, he's certainly having his words with the Dragon sideline. Camarion Pinniger, the sophomore. This could be big for Junction City. It's already a really good return from the sophomore Williams, 34 yards. Actually, they're going to mark him out at the 46, so it's going to be just a 34-yard return. Just a 30-yard return.
At least y'all when you said it.
Yeah,
Like,
just a 30, yeah,
yard.
as if I would have done better. And they're going to tack on even more to that personal foul on Haynesville. And that's going to put Junction City, this is what they needed, Wayne. That's going to put them at the Golden Tornado inside the Haynesville 40 at the 39. Junction City with 1:26 to play, 2 timeouts to work with. If you were ever gifted anything, it was right now. You have to find a way to get 6 points out of this.
Absolutely.
And preferably 8. Johnson out of the pistol. And it's going to be the stretch give to the left side from Williams. Good block up front and a good tackle in the open field. That's Turner. That's just a hat tip right there because if he doesn't get to him, Williams may still be running. Turner coming up from a safety position. 3-yard gain. And it's going to be 60 seconds, so 20 seconds already off the clock. Junction City's going to have to hurry. Going to have to show some life here. And they're going to run trips out to the right. Smith moves back over to the left. Norman joins Johnson in the backfield. 50 seconds to play. And it's going to be the stretch run over to the right. And Johnson's going to get a couple. Going to have to call timeout. Either that or hurry. Under 40 seconds to play. And now a flag.
It's getting real chippy out there.
And they're fired up.
Yeah.
I believe that's going to be on number 21.
He's coming out.
Kazavian Woods. Some of his teammates definitely frustrated with him, and Junction City going to call a timeout and talk things over. 39 seconds to play. The Dragons are going to have the football inside the purple zone at the 19. Wayne, we're just going to keep it here.
Yeah.
If you're Junction City, you're not only calling the next play, but if you're not prepared to use a timeout immediately after this first play, then you're going to have to find a way. You're going to have to find a way to dial up maybe one or two plays in the huddle so that you can quickly get back to the line of scrimmage if you're trying to salvage that timeout.
Absolutely. You know, you look at the play calling and you see what they're trying to do. They're trying to stretch the field, let Johnson make his moves, and it makes sense. I mean, you know, he's got the moves, and sometimes there ain't but 2 or 3 guys between him and the end zone, and he can easily get around them and score. He showed that at McCory. That's why I say that. But in case something don't go right, you got to have that next play ready.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're going to have to burn a timeout. And this opportunity here, folks, you got to take advantage of it. I don't know what else to say. I ain't going to sugarcoat.
3 receivers to the right coming out of the timeout. Johnson's going to work out of the shotgun. Norman set to his right. Single receiver to the wide side of the field. Johnson's going to keep it a big block on the edge. Holy cow, that may spring him, and he doesn't get out of bounds. But he's going to pick up a solid 3 or 4 yards. Holy cow, Wayne, what a block out on the edge. Clock continues to move. 25 seconds, 24. Junction City trying to hurry to get to the line under center, and they're going to spike it to stop the clock.
Don't like that.
And it took a little too much time. If you're going to run a spike, you'd like to see about 22, 23 seconds left. This is going to be about 18, so Junction City faced now with a 3rd down. Haynesville with 3 timeouts, but that's not right because they've used a couple. Johnson to throw, and he's hit as he throws one up. He's got Allen, incomplete, off his hands in the back corner of the end zone. Not a bad throw from Johnson. Incompletion stops the clock with 13 seconds. So, Wayne, your big goal here is you need to get the first down. You don't have to score. You've got a timeout that you can burn in order to stop the clock. Actually, the clock will stop to reset the chain, so you'd like to have a play already dialed up, and you could potentially have the opportunity for 3 more plays.
Absolutely. I was curious. We've been running trips to that far side. It's opened up this whole left side of the field. I was thinking maybe we would counter back to this side and let Johnson get one-on-one with a couple of guys. But they've been trying to pound that way. But right now, they got to get the first down.
4th down and 7, and they're going to throw. They pump fake. Now they're going to go left side, and he's got a man, and it's caught. It's caught. Touchdown in the back of the end zone. It was tipped up and brought down. Oh, my goodness, with 7 seconds to play. Junction City tosses one up. Jamal Johnson tosses one up, and it is complete. And, folks, I apologize. We don't have 7 on the roster, but he caught it. It was good concentration. It was it looked like it might have been underthrown.
I thought it was.
But the defensive back was unable to hang on to it. And Junction City trailing now by 8. They line up to go for 2. Johnson's going to keep it, and he is going to pinball not really anywhere close. And
we tried that
but
middle
with
again.
7 seconds to play in the first half, Junction City at least gets 6 out of it before the intermission. They trail 28-20. Tell you what, Wayne, it feels like a new ball game. Back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Seven seconds remaining in the first half. Our new score, Haynesville 28, Junction City 20. And I guess the best way to describe that last play, folks, is wow. That's all you can do. Let me say this real quick just so y'all know. They changed numbers, redid the roster, and they have not updated us with a new roster yet. So we apologize if we don't have numbers. We let the coaches know, so hopefully we will get one here soon. But, Jacob, the main thing is this. We said need to score, and then we need a big defensive effort.
And I think right now, Wayne, if you can remember back 5 years, I know that's a long time ago, especially for We won't get into that.
Yeah.
But you got to get a stop here. Like, you know, it's just a special teams play. What's it matter? And, okay, you're going to get – okay, that's good. So Haynesville's going to have it with 3 seconds. You got to get a stop here, and then, yes, you force your attention to coming out in the third quarter and getting another stop on defense and hopefully getting the football back for Johnson and company.
Well, you figure Coach Franklin here, hey, guys, just take a knee. We're going to go in the locker room. We're up 8, and we get the ball to start the second half. But
if I'm him, I take a shot.
That's what I was fixing to say. Look where the ball's at,
until Junction City finds a way to consistently bring down Haynesville, especially in the open field. I try to dial something up and get it into the hands of a playmaker out in the open and just see what happens. Of course, I guess I'm a little bit of a gambler in that sense, Wayne.
Well, they got a couple The problem is they got a couple playmakers they can go with. Green being one of them.
Yeah, that's certainly.
I mean, sometimes you don't do nothing but just toss the ball and see what happens.
And they're gonna do it for the first time tonight. They're gonna bring 3 receivers out to the right.
And Green is one of them.
Single receiver to the left. They're trying to call timeout. Junction City wasn't able to get a timeout called, and the ball's loose. That's going to be a live ball. Actually, they're going to say, I guess he was tossed it forward. I didn't know he didn't toss it back, and so, but still with an opportunity here with 4 seconds.
How do we go from 3 seconds to 4 seconds?
They put 7 back on the clock after the fair catch because no time goes off on that.
Okay.
So now it's 4 seconds. 2nd down and 10. So they have shown that they want to go for it. And Wayne, for those that are watching the video, that wasn't going to be just your average spot pass. They were trying to set something up for a double pass that looked like.
That was a double pass all the way, and they had Green going deep.
And they're going to run it back out here.
Here they get the same thing again, same setup. Got to be alert down there.
And no pressure from Junction City, dropped. Nicely done by the Dragons, and that's how you need to finish a first half. Nicely done by Junction City. They'll finish the first 2 quarters of play down 28-20, but it's a whole new ball game, Wayne, as we head into the intermission. We're going to step aside for 2 minutes back here on the Dragon Sports Network.
It is halftime at Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. Haynesville 28, Junction City 20. And time for some stats brought to you by the fine advertisers of the DSN. Folks, you see us scroll them across there during the games and stuff. Please, and we got so many of them, it's hard to mention them all, and we will try to do that as time goes along. But thanks to them, we're able to do what we do. So please, if you know some of these people special, let them know that Hey, I enjoy watching Junction City football on the DSN, and I thank you for being a part of it. So please let them know. Halftime statistics, let's go over. We got plenty to talk about here. Plays, we're going to do team stats first. Plays, Junction City ran 26 plays. The Golden Tornado, 27. Offensive yards, 191 for the Dragons, 227 for Haynesville. Time of possession, 10-15 for Junction City, 13-15 for the Golden Tornado. And I don't know where the other 30 seconds went. Rush attempt, yards, Dragons 17 for 131. Haynesville 25 for 144. So Haynesville averaging almost 6 yards a carry. The Dragons averaging right at a little over 8.5 yards a carry, or close to 8.5 yards a carry. So very good. Both teams doing very well on the ground, I guess the best way to put it. Passing 3 of 9 for the Dragons, 1 of 2 for Haynesville. And I'll go ahead and say it. That one completion, 83 yards for a touchdown on 2nd and 36. Junction City, of course, 60 yards passing. They did throw an interception that set up an Haynesville score, and then they had a touchdown pass that you saw right before the half. Fumbles, Dragons 1 of 1 and Haynesville 1 of 1, so both recovered their own fumbles. Total turnovers 2 for the Dragons, 1 for the Golden Tornado. First downs, Haynesville had 10, the Dragons have 9. They got 4 by rush, 2 by pass, 3 on penalties. Haynesville had 8 by the rush, 1 on a pass, and actually that would not be correct. They wouldn't have a first down on that pass. It was a touchdown. And then 1 penalty for the first down. Do what? And okay, I'll take that back. I stand corrected. So that would count as a first down. So 10 for Haynesville, 9 for the Dragons, so not bad at all. Third down efficiency. Junction City, 3 of 6, 50%. Haynesville, 1 of 3, 33%. Both teams that went for it on 4th down. Haynesville twice. They converted once, 50%. Junction City converted once. Got a solid 100%, so you got to like that. Penalties, 2 on the Dragons, 25 yards. Haynesville, 9 for 100, and a couple of theirs, I think there was 2 unsportsmanlike conduct, and I forgot there was 2 more major penalties. So 4 of them, they got most of their penalty yards on them off of 4 penalties, about 60 yards of it. Punting average, Haynesville has not punted. Norman punted once, 47 yards. Your leaders at the half, Dragon leaders at the half, passing Jamal Johnson, as I mentioned a while ago, 3 of 9 for 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Dradavian Williams, 5 carries, 85 yards and a touchdown. He's your leading rusher. Hayden Hudson, 1 reception for 48 yards, no touchdowns. So that is your halftime statistics. And you look at it, it's pretty much even. The biggest difference being, if you look at the score right now, that interception that set up a Haynesville score, the difference in this game, it is halftime, and Haynesville leading it 28-20. The Golden Tornado will get the ball to start the second half. We're going to step away for 2 minutes. We'll be back here on the Dragon Sports Network. little under 7 minutes remaining on the halftime clock. Haynesville 28, Junction City 20. You're watching Dragon football on the DSN. And as a reminder, folks, the fine advertisers, supporters of the Dragon Sports Network, the most we've ever had. We thank you all greatly for being involved and hope to continue our association on down the road. Right now, as my old Pat would say, we got a good one here at Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. The 11th meeting between Junction City and Haynesville. The Dragons showing some resolve, having to fight back, and actually have taken the lead a couple times, and Haynesville has, of course, got it back. The Golden Tornado, the difference really being the turnover there that on the pass on third down that gave Haynesville real good field position, and eventually they capitalized on it. But Junction City has fought back. It's a one-possession difference. The Golden Tornado coming out of the locker room, they will have the ball to start the second half. And right now, Denton, you got any scores you want to pass along to us on the USW scoreboard? Or he's checking out a few here. We'll go to him here in just a second. Let him give us some scores. A couple of interesting games going on around the state tonight. Of course, if you was listening to the Pick'em on game night, we got some out-of-state pride on the line. A couple of games. Bryant is, of course, in Texas. Of course, we're down here in Louisiana.
Yeah, Wayne, that game right now is Bryant
right.
7, Texas Longview 10.
Well, we got halftime or still?
It's halftime.
Halftime. Okay. Interesting one there in Longview.
Camden Fairview 32, Watson Chapel 16. That is halftime.
Anything on El Dorado Magnolia? Do you see?
No, I have not. I'm checking into that. Haven't seen anything. Dardanelle 28, Clinton 6, halftime. McGee 8, Crossett 7, halftime.
And let me throw this one out there while you look at Monticello 14, 4-0. That's still the same score I think we gave y'all earlier. That's still what's showing right now.
The other Louisiana game playing, this is still showing that playing at Warren. I'm not sure about that. They may be in Franklin Parish. But it's Franklin Parish 2, Warren 35.
Whoa. Well, what did Jacob say? Don't bet against Bo. If you do, you don't know Bo. Bo Hembry and the Warren Lumberjacks taking care of business.
Yeah, and I keep saying I think Camden Harmony Grove was underrated that first game. And but then again, you look at it, it was a pretty close game there. But Camden Harmony Grove 6 now, Harding Academy 17 at halftime.
And that's a very interesting one to check out because Harding Academy, a traditional power, even when they were in AA, and of course still showing their stuff in 3A.
And Rising right now is taking care of Hamburg 35-3. That's in quarter 3. Mount Ida 41, Bearden 6. And that is all that I have currently right now.
That is your USW scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. And that Bearden score sad. Bearden's been struggling, and they are very, very low on numbers. So situation there you got to keep an eye on because that's a conference game for Junction City, and we'll see them in about around mid-October, I believe, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I think right now they're down to, I was told, 14 players, 13 players, something like that. That's the last I've heard. About 3 minutes remaining on the clock. We're going to step away again for 2 minutes, and when we come back, the man who is known for riding the mascot over to Junction City to do games, Mr. Jacob Pumphrey, will crank up the headsets and get ready to give you some second half action here from Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. Our score, Haynesville 28, Junction City 20. Back in 2 minutes on the DSN. little scoreboard malfunctioning going on here at Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. It's showing about a minute left on the halftime clock, but then the scoreboard started acting up. So we're going to say something like that. Both teams are back on the field warming up. Haynesville, as I mentioned a while ago, will get the ball to start the second half. Junction City, of course, put the defense out there and try to shut them down and get it back. Dragons turning in a solid effort, a very good game so far by Mr. Williams. As I mentioned on the halftime stats, 5 rushes for 85 yards and a touchdown. And a great job defensively, Christopher Norman, Jamal Johnson making some big plays. And then, of course, some big plays right at the half to shut down Haynesville, who was trying to, look, as Jacob would say, a little trickeration possibly going on. But we won't know. The Dragons shut it down before they could make anything, get anything to develop, make anything happen. And now they are saying that, okay, they got everything ready on the clock. We're ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, standing beside me, the one and only, the voice of the Junction City Dragons on the DSN, Mr. Jacob Pumphrey.
I was waiting for a comment about riding a mule or something like that, but I'll take that.
I tell you why I backed off. I think I'm in trouble with corporate a little bit. I'm going to say this. If she is paying attention to us right now, and she probably is, at least I know how to spell. I'm just going to say that and leave it alone. I'm not going to go no further. So hopefully that'll get me out of hot water.
The thing is, you getting yourself out of hot water means you got to throw somebody else under the bus. So
listen, I ain't got a problem throwing them under, but if I have to.
You bus driver, ain't that right?
Office.
They've put 3 more minutes back on the clock here. Junction City trailing by 8. Wayne, we've been in this situation a little bit before over the past, this season, even into last season, where we find ourselves saying if Junction City can just get the second half stop. Well, I feel like now more than ever this is the case because they don't see this. You don't see an offense like this run as well as Haynesville runs it just week in and week out. And when you've got an offense that can eat clock, you need the football in your hands to keep them off the field as much as possible. And so for Junction City defensively, you want to see them come out being pretty aggressive here and try to get that football back quickly.
Well, let me say this, and probably don't need to be said, but let's just go ahead and say it. Haynesville extremely well coached. You watch how they run their offense. They know what they're doing. There's no questions. If there's an issue, timeout's called and it's straightened out, or a player is sent in to bring one out so they get the right personnel on the field or make sure the play is run correctly. You watch that and you go, okay, this is why they got 24 state and state runner-up titles to their credit. The Dragons, we talked about the start of the game. They got some adversity they're dealing with. Give them credit. They have come out tonight, and for all practical purposes, they have fought hard. They have made some mistakes. We get a little aggravated. But overall, these young men are giving it what they got. You dance with who brung you, and that's what they're doing. Hey, we're here. We're going to battle. And I like what I'm seeing. The emergence of Williams at running back, Jacob, you can tell by the way I'm looking at you right now, I'm very thrilled with.
Yeah, you talk about dancing with who brung you. Well, you also dance with who was on the bus with you, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
You dance with who was on the bus. And the resiliency Junction City shown, and I know that word gets thrown around a lot when, you climb back into a ball game or something, but Junction City could have folded there, down 14, but instead they found a way to get into the end zone. Would have liked to have gotten that 2-point try, but regardless, it's back to one possession. You go out here and you look at your defense and say, all right, guys, it's on you. And it really is. From here on to the end, it's on you. They're going to have to find a way to limit. They're going to have to find a way to wrap up in the open field and not allow Haynesville to get any extra yards. An offense like this, they don't need help moving the football, so don't give them anything extra. It ought to be an exciting second half.
Absolutely. You said it all right there. Don't give them any help. Don't give them any at all. They can move that ball. They got a freshman we've been bragging about, Green. Last thing you need to do is not be in your lane or read your assignment and handle it right, because he showed earlier that 56 yards for the touchdown. I believe that was him or whoever on Haynesville scored it, and it was because of missed tackles, not making the right read. You take away that, you take away a turnover that should not have definitely happened. Sometimes you're going to have some other, that's just, football, but that one right there should not have happened. And Junkson's leading this game, Jacob. It's just that simple. 2 plays. Talk about football being a game of inches. Sometimes this is a game of a few plays it comes down to. 2 plays, you take that away, It's 20-14, and the Dragons are kicking off with the lead.
And they'll kick off here to start the second half. And it's going to be, this time it's going to bounce around. And it's going to be a little bit of a trouble here for Haynesville to try to pick it up. And they're just going to have to get on the football, and they do.
The flag.
And from where?
I thought I saw one on the back. No, that's going to be.
No, that's going to be gloves. That's gloves you saw.
Thank goodness.
That's gloves you
I
saw.
saw a Dragon fall on top there, and I'm like, here goes.
Well, yeah, you got to be careful.
You got to be careful. That's how gunshot they got us already.
So not a bad job there. Not a bad special teams call. It had been kind of that corner kick, and then you kick it to the open spot of the field. Now you're going to put Haynesville at their worst starting position of an offensive drive tonight. Granted, still pretty good position. You're at the 22. Could always be worse, but a nice special teams play for Junction City to start the second half.
Well, the previous three, they've been up near our midfield mark, or they're on 45.
Woodard brings the offense back out, and they're going to give to Turner. He's going to work the right side. He's still on his feet, and that's going to be a big gain there. Excuse me, not Turner, that's Green. That's Green, and he's showing his athleticism here in play number 1 of the second half. And really, it just opened up very quickly there on the off right tackle, Wayne, and Haynesville pick up a big gain now, and now they've got the football at the Dragon 35, so a 13-yard run from Green, and it resets the chains for the Golden Tornado.
The Dragons are going to have to fight off some blocks there. The secondary guys are getting caught up in the wash down there, so to speak. They got to get out of it, get clean, and make plays.
First down and 10. Bring a man in motion. They fake to him. They give to Franklin, and Franklin lowers his shoulder. He's going to be tripped up as he falls across the 40. They'll mark him down at the 41-yard line. Should be a gain of 6. Bring up second down and 4. Clock's going to move under 11 and a half to play here in the third quarter. 28-20 is our score. An eventful first half. No reason to believe the second half won't shape up that way either.
And the Dragon defense, you don't want to let them get settled in and get that offense clicking, because like you said, it's hard to shut them down once they get going, and they eat up a lot of clock doing it.
And they're going to give, that's going to be out to the left side, and we've got a flag on the play, and almost tripped up on the edge, still on his feet, and finally brought down by Johnson, but the flag's got to be a hold. That's the signal Coach Smith's given. And sometimes, Wayne, you can kind of tell when a flag comes from a certain part of the field during a certain time of a play, you kind of think it can only be one or two things. It's probably going to be a hold here on the Golden Tornado. That's why that run was able to bounce out to the left, and that's what it is. It's going to be a hold. So Junction City had it played well. They had the defensive end on that far side of the field. Definitely ran his man up the seam there, and was held in the process as Green was able to cut it back inside.
Well, you're putting them back behind the chains, or they're going to put them even with it, let's just say. You're back to 2nd and 10. You need to keep them here.
2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Woodard brings the play in from the sideline. Rain not much of a factor anymore. Hasn't rained since around pregame right before kickoff. And I'm about to say delay of game. They got him. Delay of game is they broke the huddle with 2, and so unable to get the play off, and so now they will be behind the chains, Wayne. It'll be 2nd and 15 from the 30.
And knowing the Golden Tornado, look for them to try something off tackle here with Green. That's been pretty successful.
So they got 13 yards on the first time they ran it.
Yep.
2nd down and 15 from the 30. Haynesville moving left to right. Bring a man in motion. That's Turner. And they're going to pitch it to Green. He bounces it out. Missed tackle out on the edge. Norman from behind runs him down from the backside. Johnson's getting there. He's just going to have to break down on the ball carrier. But Norman from the backside, he was able to run down Green. It's still going to be a pretty solid game, but it'll make it 3rd down. We'll call it 7 from the press box.
Jacob, as you say, it doesn't show up in the score box the next day. It doesn't. But that hustle by Norman, it ended up being, 8-yard game? It could have easily been a 28-yard game or more. He had a head of steam, and he had some open field starting to come up in front of them. Great job of Norman.
Out of the I formation, and they're going to throw here. And it's picked off by Johnson at the 45. He makes a man miss, still on his feet, and finally going to be – no, he spins out of a tackle. He's hit hard, but he moves it down to the 42-yard line. I tell you what, Wayne, he baited him like an old hook on the Corny Dam on a Saturday morning right there.
He had that cricket right where he wanted him, buddy. And it is huge right there because now you took away their opening possession. You know, we talked about it. Coming out of the locker room, they got the ball. You got to stop them. The Dragons stopped them. But not only did they stop them, they're sitting with the ball on the Haynesville 43. Big opportunity here to get this game tied back up.
They don't come any more gift wrapped than that.
No, sir.
Out of the pistol, Johnson just got the interception. They're going to give to Williams. Patient running right up the gut, and he's going to be slammed down, but not before he gets a well-earned 8 yards. He's going to be just shy of the 35-yard line. Mark him at the 36. Junction moving right to left.
That young man was born to be a running back.
He sure was.
That's the best. I don't know what else to say.
It's fun to watch
run.
him.
Yes.
It's fun to watch him tote the football. Dragons break the huddle, single receiver to each side. And they give to Williams again. Follows behind one block, still on his feet. He's going to bounce it outside. 30, 25 through 2 guys, 10, 5, touchdown, Jordavian Williams.
Mr. Williams.
Oh, my. Ran by 2 guys like they didn't even see him. Touchdown, Junction City, and the Dragons a 2-point try away from tying this one at 28-all. Oh, my goodness.
I tell you, folks, he's not bigger than 30 seconds. You hear me? He's not. But that young man knows how to move. There's times you think, well, he needs to pick it up a little bit.
He ran in. I mean, he basically ran. He didn't run by 2 guys. He ran in between 2 guys and was able to move by them, if that makes sense, which it probably doesn't, but dadgum, you just had to see it to believe it.
Absolutely.
Over right guard Johnson. He lunges. He's in.
He's in.
He's in. 8:52 to play, third quarter. We are all tied at 28 here from the historic Red Franklin Memorial Stadium, folks. Don't you go anywhere. We're back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to Claiborne Parish. Wayne, your favorite country band, Florida Georgia Line, once said, anything goes on a Friday night, and I think that's what we have here in front of us. Anything is going. 28-all with 8:52 to play in the third quarter.
I'm going to assume that you took that shot at me because of the mule comments. True or false? Just tell me. Because you know good and well, the only groove I care about from the Florida Georgia Line is Leonard Skinner. Oh, we were talking at the break with Alan Russell, 42 Sports, about Mr. Williams, and we had told him, you need to check this kid out, and he is checking him out. And a great play right here on the kickoff.
Great open field tackle.
Yes. And that is going to put the Golden Tornado at their own 32. But anyway, to finish the thought, I was talking with Alan. We told him before the game, look, we got a sophomore. Just check him out. He's coming on. We think he's going to really be something. And Mr. Williams is making me and you look real smart right now. And hey, we need to thank him after the game no matter what. He's making us look real smart. We got a whistle, Jacob, and I think official timeout.
Well, it might have been. I don't know if it's an injury or
I think so.
Maybe,
Yeah,
I think it was. I think it actually was equipment related. Oh, actually, it is a cramp. It is a cramp. So hopefully, nothing more any more serious than just a cramp. Oh, I say just a cramp. Those can certainly be painful.
Yes,
especially on a muggy night like we've got here in the Piney Hills. Haynesville breaks the huddle. First down and 10 for the Golden Tornado. 8:47 to play. This one's got a whole new feel to it.
It does.
Under center's Woodard. Picked off in the last drive, and they're going to give to Franklin. He's met, as he crosses the line of scrimmage, he has met Kevin Newberry one of the Dragons. Then on the stop, Norman around the football. Brian Estrada as well.
And Jacob, you said Norman around the football. Think about that.
The grass is green, the sky is blue.
Norman's around the football.
That's it.
Great job.
Under 8.5 to play here in the third quarter. 28 all. The Dragons back with 14 unanswered to tie this ball game. Dragons with just about 6 near the line. They're going to pitch it out, and a big hit on the edge. Still on his feet, but gain tackling. All you got to do is make contact, wrap them up, and let the Cavalry do the rest, and that's what Junction City did. Norman in on the stop. Christopher Miller coming in from the secondary.
Mr. Green checks in on this third down.
So third down, and we'll call it 5.
I think it'd be safe to say you're seeing 2 future high school stars between Mr. Williams and Mr. Green, a freshman and a sophomore.
And Haynesville out of the I formation. They've thrown out of the I formation a handful of times tonight. You got to be aware of it, and that's what they're going to throw here. They're going to roll out, and they dump the pass off, and it is complete. And the ball's lost. It's picked up. It's picked up inside the 40, and it's going to be Junction City football. Javian Davis with the fumble recovery. A big hit out there on the edge. I'm not sure who laid the lumber, Wayne, but it's going to result in a turnover, and Junction City's got it. Back-to-back defensive stands. They forced the football from Haynesville, and they'll be rewarded with the football in Golden Tornado territory with 7:08 to play in the third quarter. Junction City with the football.
At the 36-yard line, another big opportunity for this Dragon offense.
And the Dragons are going to, actually Haynesville's going to call a timeout, and we're going to call a timeout with them. Lord knows we need to catch our breath. Back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Hey, who laid that? Who laid the wood there? Who was that? Back-to-back Haynesville drives end in turnovers. It was a fumble recovery by Javian Davis, the sophomore, just moments ago. We apologize, folks. We did not get who laid the big hit. As you probably heard me say, laid the wood. I tell you what, he definitely brought the helmet, shoulder pads, the whole 9 yards with him. And Junction City's got the football at the Haynesville 36, moving right to left with a chance to take the lead here in the second half.
And, Jacob, the 2 turnovers forced by the Dragon defense. And that's what you like
Johnson
to see.
takes the snap. Hot route, and it's picked off. It's picked off inside the 25, and it's going to be returned and tossed out of bounds. And that's not what Junction City needed to happen. So back-to-back turnovers. And really, Wayne, when you look at it, it's only about a difference of about 5 yards.
That's it. I mean,
despite losing the opportunity.
You hate losing the opportunity because you got Williams in the backfield who just made a great run, and you're wondering why, you come out throwing. But, I mean, if he gets the ball out a little bit further.
Yeah, if he leads them a little bit more.
It may be 6 points.
It may
so
be
I
6 points.
I can understand that.
You want to take a gamble there, put them on their heels, but at the end of the day, you want to try to execute a little bit better than that.
Yeah. So you turn to your defense again and say, hey, shut them down. Because Dragon defense starting to take control, especially the defensive line, starting to take control of that offensive line some. And it's coming at the perfect time. Second half here, it's like, okay, we've been tested, we've been battled. Yeah, they have the size advantage on us, but look, we got some beef too, and that's what the Dragons have done. They beefed up that defensive line a little bit.
Woodard, the pitch goes to Turner. He's going to bounce it left, and he's running through a couple of arm tackles. He's finally going to be brought down, but not after he picks up 13 yards and a first down. Wayne, you're seeing Haynesville's success on the ground, especially when they bounce it outside. They're starting to stretch out Junction City, and that's when they let the speediness of their backs start to hit some of those holes. That's how they end up with those 10, 12, 15-yard gains.
Kind of like our stretch run. And the problem with Haynesville you got to watch out for is they can counter off of that. You know, they've been going to the left here every time they set up in this formation. You got to watch for them to come back to your backside.
6:15 to play, third quarter action. 1st and 10. Golden Tornado in Dragon territory. They're going to give to Franklin, and he's going to plow forward for maybe a yard. Met in the backfield. Trying to see what Dragon that is, getting up off the bottom of the pile.
61 on the initial, or 67, I should say. Yeah.
67. Jalen Ivy, the sophomore.
Good job there, because as soon as it
as soon as Franklin got the handoff, he was right there in his face. Good defensive play there from the youngster. Clock moves under 5:40 to play, third quarter action. 2nd down and 9. Woodard under center. Fakes to Franklin, and I believe that's going to be Green. Gives to Green. Now that's Turner. Turner's still on his feet, and he lost the football. It's almost recovered by Junction City. Haynesville starting to get a little tendency to put it on the ground, Wayne, and you'd like to have seen a drag in there, but a good effort on the edge to try to get to it, and it's going to result in the 1st down for the Golden Tornado.
They're starting to get popped a little harder. And, Junction start, like you mentioned a while ago, they're bringing the wood, and that's what you got to do. And the Dragons, this defense is starting to, tighten up a little bit, and they're making penetration, they're making plays, and pretty soon when you're getting hit pretty good and they're in your backfield, you lose a little focus with handling that ball. And it wouldn't hurt right here because Haynesville, despite all that, on the move again. You'd like to see a turnover.
Clock stopped at 5:20. It's 28 all here in the third quarter. And they're going to give right up the middle. Franklin untouched, 10-5 touchdown. Untouched, right up the gut. And Haynesville has regained the lead 34-28 with 5:13 to play in the third quarter.
Jacob, great job because they pulled, we said, well, somebody wasn't paying attention. No, they ran it perfect. They had you looking in the backfield.
That's great execution. That's right.
And that's great execution. Hats off to the Golden Tornado there. They're going to kick for the PAT.
Line up to kick the extra point. Snap a little on the inside, and it's blocked. It is blocked. Junction City in there with the block. That's big for the Dragons. Timeout on the field, 5:13 to play in the third quarter. Haynesville 34, Junction City 28. Don't go anywhere, folks. Buckle up. We're back in 30 on the DSN.
.5:13 remaining in the third quarter. Haynesville 34, Junction City 28. As advertised, when these two get together, things can get interesting. There's been a couple blowouts, but for the most part, it's been some games that, Jacob, we talked about it, it could be 5 or 6 plays out of the whole game that determine it. And this one here, that blocked extra point we were talking about at the break, that could be huge.
Yeah, we were, Wayne. You never know. The way this one's going, it may come down to just who has the football last. Junction City about to receive, trailing by 6, and it's an onside kick, and that's a good job. I tell you what, if you're going to go forward to it, it didn't look like it was going to get 10, but credit Brian Estrada. You commit to it, you go get it. You don't commit to it and bounce around and watch it hit off your leg. That's a good job. Junction City's going to have great field position here on the Haynesville side of the football.
48-yard line.
This will be the third drive of the second half for Haynesville. And it'll be for Junction City. It'll be the third time the Dragons have started in Haynesville territory. You can't ask for much better than that, Wayne.
No, big opportunity again to get some more points. And Junction, you're seeing things starting to take shape. That's real good. The defense been playing well. That last play, we talked about it. Let's give Haynesville credit. It wasn't necessarily Junction making a big mistake. It was a well-executed play. For the most part, Dragon defense doing a great job, especially the second half. The offense, the emergence of Williams is huge. I don't know how else to put it other than to say it's huge. And you got him coming out of that backfield on the stretch run or just popping off tackle. Then you got Johnson, who we already know can make some play. He makes play. You sit here and can't even describe him. Hopefully they can get this offense cranked up here and make something happen.
From the Haynesville 48-yard line, 5:11 on the clock here, third quarter. They give to Williams. He's tripped up in the backfield, starting to key on him. And you probably need to because he's had a pretty good night here. Has the sophomore. He's going to actually lose a yard, pushing back to the 49, still in Haynesville territory. Clock's under 5 minutes to play, third quarter. 34-28 is our score. Haynesville by 6.
If I'm correct, he's already over 100, and he's got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he went over 100 with the touchdown run here in the second half, I believe. Actually, over 120. They're going to fake to Williams. Johnson's going to roll out. First play action of the game and throwing on the run, incomplete. Turner on the coverage. Not a bad pass there from Johnson, but just out of the reach of the intended target. Now Junction City quickly faced with a third down. They're behind the chains, 11 to go for the first.
Kind of like,
and the clock is still running. Apparently it does that on incompletions here.
The official, he actually saw you point. Now he's looking. Now he ignores it, and it keeps. Now they stop it.
And Junction City loses, I believe, 11 seconds off the clock after the incompletion. And Dragons nearly got Haynesville to jump. Would have made it a more manageable third down. They look to the sideline. 2 on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry, and they don't get it off.
They're not going to get it off. I don't know why they kept looking to the sideline.
Not a good sequence there. They lose 11 seconds due to clock operator error. And now they'll lose 5 more yards to make it third down and 16.
I'm not sure what happened there. They kept looking to the sideline like they needed a play.
Well, they were getting a play. They were getting a play, but not much awareness of the play clock. Which I guess not much awareness on the game clock either, for that matter. 4:09 to play, third quarter action. Jamal Johnson rolls out to the right. He's going to throw it. He's got Allen. He's wide open. It's caught at the 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Junction City. Just like you dial it up, Wayne. The Dragons strike back, and there's flags
down
on the field. Of course there is.
Absolutely.
An eligible receiver downfield on Junction City.
Of course.
And that's going to hurt the Dragons. It negates a touchdown that would have tied the ball game at 34. But instead, Junction City now going to be even further behind the chains, facing a third down. And I'll be honest, Wayne, I've kind of forgotten what the yardage is on the ineligible receiver. It may just be 5.
I think it is.
I think it is 5, so it should make it a 3rd and 21 now for Junction City. So they lose 6 points off the board. They lost 11 seconds when they shouldn't have earlier in this drive.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where he threw it at, where they threw it to where the guy was at. The guy standing over there was number 40, Hudson.
Unless he was covered up on the line of scrimmage and went out for a pass route, that'd be the only way.
That'd be the only way.
He's an eligible number for sure. Third down and 21. Fake to Williams. They're going to have to throw here. Johnson rolling out, and he's pressured. He's just going to lob one up, and it's going to go out of bounds. Incomplete. And so it'll be interesting to see what Junction City decides to do here. If they do indeed punt it away, I think that's probably your best bet here, Wayne. Still early second half.
Well, that sequence event there proves one thing, Jacob. It ain't too far from the penthouse to the outhouse.
It sure ain't. It sure
ain't. That
ain't.
hurts. 3:50 to go, third quarter. We're still in this thing. We need to get the defense back out there and shut it down.
End over end punt from Norman, and that was I believe it looked like that was touched by a Haynesville player, and I think it was touched by a Haynesville player, but not much awareness down there by the coverage team.
Number 8 was not paying attention. If he had been, we might have had the ball. Because he did. The guy that come up and jumped touched it.
3:45 to play, third quarter action. 34-28's our score. Junction City trails by 6. in a back-and-forth affair from Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. Dragons winless in Haynesville. Still looking for that first win against the Golden Tornado south of the state line. And they're going to have to call on their defense here once again. Woodard under center. And they're going to give to Green. And not a bad job defending it if the guys behind them can make the tackle, and they do. Norman's there. Estrada on the stop, as is Ivy.
Got a man down.
And got a man for each team down.
Yeah.
I believe one of them's cramps.
Three are down.
Cramps are starting to play a role, Wayne. We saw it early in the second half, and now it seems to be. That's Green actually kind of limping off the field. Looks like it might just be cramps. Kevin Newberry shaking up for Junction City. He's up on both feet. He's limping off the field. Coach Thompson helping him. Hopefully it's just a stinger. Newberry being helped off the field. 5 yards on the carry from Green. Ball's at the 36-yard line of Haynesville. They're going to operate from the near hash, moving left to right.
7 classes in the South sponsored this quarter of Fort Allen football. 7 classes will be open after the game. Come by or call in 318-548-1298.
Second down and 5. Bring the man in motion. That's Turner, and they're going to give right up the middle to Franklin. He meets Johnson in the hole. Franklin running hard, and he's got a first down. And not only that, he's across midfield into Dragon territory as the clock ticks down near toward the 3-minute mark. And we've got more cramps from Haynesville, and I believe that's Franklin.
Yep.
They're going to spot it at the Dragon 48-yard line. It'll be first down and 10.
Yeah, they're starting to get more and more cramps here, especially this third quarter alone.
Three minutes to go, third quarter. They break the huddle. Without a couple of their main skill guys in the game. And the ball's on the ground. It was fumbled from the snap. Back on top of it. Golden Tornado will lose 2 yards, bring up a second down and 12 now. Still in Dragon territory around the 49-yard line. 6-point game. And it sure does feel like it, doesn't it, Wayne?
It does. Yeah, I was just standing here thinking if we can just get the ball back with Johnson. I mean, we're showing that we can throw the ball, and that's a big plus. Even though we didn't get the touchdown because of the penalty, now you got to respect the pass.
Yeah, you can't. Just got to be on. And they're going to give to Turner. He's going to get that outside edge, and he is going to be wrapped up. That's Norman. Also a good job forcing him to cut back in so Norman could get there. And that's going to bring up a third down, and what do you say, Wayne? About 4.
It'll be about 4
as they mark it at the Junction City 42. Under 2 minutes to play. Third quarter action.
Watch the fullback here. Yep, there he goes.
He comes back into
checking
the thing.
in. There he is.
Walking a little gingerly on that left leg, but he'll check back into the ball game. Dragons make a change along that defensive front. Haynesville breaks the huddle. 4 on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry. And a little miscommunication in the backfield.
Got
Flags and wrapped up and slammed down. The ball came out, but I believe it's going to be basically it come out because of the contact on the ground. And there's flags before the snap, or actually I guess right after the snap.
I believe that is the quarterback that's down, ain't it, Jake?
Down. He got taken down pretty hard. Of course, it was by his jersey. The Junction City's trying to get him down any way they can. It's actually going to be a false start on Haynesville, so that's going to back the Golden Tornado up. Coach Smith decides to take the yards, and I don't blame him because it's going to be 4-down territory anyway, so you might as well make it a little bit more difficult here for them on 3rd down than it would be to basically give them a fourth and 2 when they've shown that they can certainly execute.
Yeah, they had no hesitation in going for it on 4th down. So, yeah, take the penalty, it puts them back 3rd down, and you call on your defense to make a couple plays.
3rd down and 8. Final 70 seconds.
New quarterback for the Golden Tornado.
Dakota Camp, the junior, checking in at quarterback. And a little miscommunication in the backfield. Good read by Junction City and a big tackle on the edge. It's going to be a minimal gain. That's not a bad call there, Wayne. They blitzed the A-gaps knowing that they had a new quarterback in the game.
Yep. That was Hudson on the tackle. Great tackle.
And still, Wayne, no sign of the quarterback. 15 is still on the sideline. That's Woodard. And now 4th down and 6. I believe it's the punt team. And so Junction City going to put dual returners back there. That's Williams on the far side and actually Ryan Allen on the near side. Allen at around his 14. Williams at around his, we'll probably say about the 12. 3 on the play clock. They get the snap off, but I believe his whistles before the snap is probably going to be a timeout. Junction City's going to call a timeout. Not bad. 10 seconds to play 3rd quarter. Haynesville facing a 4th down. We're back in 30 on the DSN. Ten seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Junction City trailing 34-28, but they do appear to be on the verge of getting the football back, Wayne. Haynesville faced with a 4th down and 6 from the Junction City 44-yard line. The Golden Tornado with their punt team on the field. Dragons called a timeout. Must have saw something personnel-wise that they didn't like.
What you were talking about with, I believe that is Franklin, the punter. You know, you better make sure they are actually, and that's what I was fixing to ask you before the timeout ever showed up. We're trusting them to punt. They may be up to something here.
Dual returners for the Dragons. Allen at his 10, and now instead of Williams, it's Jamal Johnson inside the 10 at around his 9. Got to be smart here on the return. Not a bad snap. Plenty of time. It'll be end over end, and it will bounce at the 15. Just let it roll, and it's going to go nearly in the end zone, but it's going to be down at the 1-yard line as time expires in the 3rd quarter. Junction City, if they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it the hard way, Wayne. Timeout on the field. 1 quarter remains. 34-28 is our score. Dragons trail by 6. We're back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. This one has been as advertised, Wayne. 34-28 is our score. It's a 6-point game. Junction City's got it. And in order to tie this one up, they've got to go 99 to do it.
It's not much. They don't have much room to work with, I'll put it that way. And you're being nice telling them they got 99 to go. I was watching the officials. One of them, they got it worked out.
I think initial touch might have been, Wayne, and it's going to help Junction City out. That's right. Initial touch was at the 5, so that's going to help Junction City out. You may be thinking, well, 4 yards. Well, yeah, 4 yards when you're in the shadow of your own goalpost is huge, and Junction City will benefit from that. So they'll have it at the 5. They're moving left to right as we start the 4th quarter. 34-28 is our score. Dragons trail by 6. Johnson brings the offense onto the field. Hillman Williams in their own end zone. They make a switch at the line, and it's going to be a quick snap. It'll be the give to Williams, and he's going to be wrapped up, but he's going to pick up about 3 yards. He'll move up to the 8 to the 8-yard line, so a 3-yard run from Jordavian Williams. And that helps, Wayne, because you just kind of want to just continue to get yourself away from your own end zone.
Yeah, 2 things. You want a little breathing room to work with, but more importantly, if nothing else, you want to get this field position flipped back over in your favor. And to do that, you need some first downs.
30 seconds in to the 4th quarter of play. The 11th border battle all time between these two in it, and it's shaping up to be a good one. Out of the pistol, they give to Williams. He'll carry here on 2nd down. He's going to bounce it out, and he's going to get behind one block. Still on his feet, and he moves across the 10 up to around the 13. They may actually mark him back at the 12, and so it's going to be 3rd down and 3 for Junction City. From the 12-yard line. They've got to get to the 15 to convert.
That's all you're looking for. Just get the first down, reset them chains. Let's go. He's got Williams in there with him, Jacob. Look for Johnson to keep it here.
And he's going to do just that, Wayne. You're in the huddle with him. He's going to pick up a first down, and he's going to carry the pile forward across the 20 up to around the 21-yard line. Nice play call from our OC here in the book, Wayne Pumphrey. He said he's probably just going to keep it, and he does. That's a much-needed first down for Junction City. That will reset the chains. And we are just about 2 minutes into the 4th quarter of play.
And like we said, Jacob, just you ain't got to get it all right here. Just keep working the first down, working them chains.
Just be methodical here.
That's it. Big work.
They give to Williams, and he's pushed around in the backfield. The guy lost his block, and he was bumped into, and that really just threw him off his path. Immediately credit the Haynesville defense.
But I think he got back to the line.
He might actually lost a yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 11. It was marked at the 21. He's back at the 20.
Yeah, he ran into trouble immediately.
Wayne, this is where you'd like to see some of your seniors, some of your veteran guys. Dragons are trying to call timeout, and they finally get the official to notice that the 3 or 4 of them with the timeout. And I don't know if that's the officials, if that's Junction City, like the players calling timeout, or.
Yeah, now that's the question that Junction City coaches are wanting to know.
And that's what Coach Thompson's saying, is that I believe it was a Williams appears to be, it looked like he was holding, I couldn't tell if he was holding his nose, but they allowed Haynesville to regroup at the sideline. And now there's a flag over there.
Yeah.
And Coach Franklin's fired up, and I believe that's going to help Junction City.
The flag. He come off that sideline.
My guess is it may just be a sideline warning. I don't know if they'll benefit yardage wise.
I don't know that. I don't think that was sideline. That was.
Well, I'm saying sometimes they'll throw the flag for the sideline warning just to give them the warning, and that's all they're going to do.
I think that's all they're going to do, because the official over there got hot. You could tell he turned and looked, and then he threw the flag. I was watching. I don't know what was said, but he didn't like it.
Motion's running high.
Yes, sir.
Here in Claiborne Parish. Under 9.5 to play. 4th quarter action. 2nd and 11 for Junction City. And that's going to be Johnson. He's going to keep it. He's going to work the left side. He's going to pick up the first down. He moves up across the 30-yard line. I believe they're going to mark him at the 30. I believe that's the 32, Wayne. It's hard to see from all the way on this side of the field.
Got another player down.
But I believe it's going to be a gain of about 13 yards.
Hold everything, Jacob. Flag. Flag back at the 22.
That can only be one thing. It's going to be a hold on Junction City, and that's what they're going to call. And so scratch that. That's going to back the Dragons up.
Amazing.
And now Junction City back at their 10. Back at their 10-yard line here, facing a 2nd down and 21. Unfortunately, not the first time we've said that tonight.
No.
Clock starts. It'll be under 9 minutes before the next snap. Allen breaks the huddle to the right, Smith to the left. Pistol formation for the Dragons. And it's play action fake. Johnson's pressured immediately. He's going to have to run it. A big block on the edge. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a couple of more yards. So it's going to be a manageable 3rd down here as the clock stops with 8:46. And again, we've got more whistles. And Haynesville
got another Haynesville player down.
Catching cramps. Actually, this might not. I don't know.
No, this ain't cramps.
This might not be a cramp here. He's out there calling for the ambulance. We're going to step aside for 2 minutes. We'll be back with more here on the Dragon Sports Network. Haynesville player is on his feet and off the field. That's good to see. Not real sure what it was. I don't know if it was a concussion-like or what, but Junction City now with the football. It's 3rd down and 9 after the 12-yard gain from Johnson. And he's going to take it, and he's going to cut back across the grain, and nowhere going. Went back into the heart of the defense. He will pick up a handful, but it'll bring up 4th down, and Wayne, you're faced with a decision here. Clock's going to move under 8 minutes before the next snap. You're deep in your own territory here at the 26-yard line.
I'm watching to see what we're going the personnel that we're bringing in and out. I believe
it's going to be a heck of a gamble if you go for it here.
They're leaning toward going for it right now, Jacob. I do not see.
And that's what they're going to do. Dragons are going to go for it here. 7:45, biggest moment of the game coming up. 10 on the play clock. They're huddling. They're going to have to hurry.
They got to get out of the huddle. 6 seconds on the play clock. Hurry up, guys.
Got to get set on the edge. And
now they're going to punt.
Now they're going to punt it away. Maybe try to get a guy to jump.
I think that's what it was.
Hopefully it takes a junction roll, and it's kind of will. Got to get on the foot, touch the football. Holy cow. Why did they blow the whistle? Why did they blow the whistle?
Why did you blow the whistle?
Holy cow.
That is absolutely horrible.
Holy cow.
That's got everybody cutting up now. I mean, let's just.
He touched the foot. It's a live
picked the
football.
ball. That's a live ball. He picked the ball up, and
they blow the whistle.
Blows it dead.
And they blow the whistle. Holy cow.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to get called to the office, but I'm going to say that is the worst crew I've ever seen.
I'll be
by far. He's getting booed by the home side and the visitor side.
I don't know why he's getting booed from the home side.
I don't either, but that was good grief.
Well, when you get called in on the floor, I'll be in there arm in arm because if it keeps going this way, my goodness gracious, holy freaking cow.
I'll tell you how bad it was. I was so stunned that he would even run up to the ball and pick it up, and his coaches were screaming at him not to.
There's dumb, and then there's what he just did. But that's not even the dumbest thing that happened is because the way the officials are calling this ball game. My goodness.
And then a jump, no call.
Wrapped up and dropped. Now be careful with him, guys. Be careful. Heaven forbid you hit them too hard here in Louisiana. Clock's going to continue run down near toward the 7-minute mark. Junction City going to call on their defense here. Not a bad deal there on the punt from Norman.
Norman got him out of the hole. Great job by Norman.
And great coverage by Junction City. Great coverage down there by Junction City.
So now you got a 2nd and 9 from the 35. You need the defense to make a stand. Go ahead and set the clock real quick here. 6:47 counting, clock running. Haynesville still got all 3 of their timeouts. Dragons have 2.
2nd and 9 for Haynesville. Bring a man in motion. They give to Franklin. He's going to work up. And he lost the football. It's going to be picked up, but he's actually going to go back. That's a bad spot if they keep it there. He's actually should be back about 1.5 yards. In a game like this, that's going to matter.
Yep.
And they're actually going to, okay, they're going to mark. Oh, that's a good spot there from the far side.
Good job.
From the far side.
Good job.
That's a good spot because he lost it behind him and it was recovered. You don't get forward progression when you lose possession.
So now 3rd and 6. By the time this play is run, it'll be under 6 minutes left, Jacob. And now hold everything.
And now we've got timeout. I believe it might be a timeout Haynesville.
I believe it is.
Of course, no signal.
And
still no signal. We're just going to keep it here. 6 minutes to play. Actually, it's going to be the media. We're going to take it with them. We'll be back in 60 on the DSN. Six minutes to go. Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. 3rd down and 7 for Haynesville. They lead by 6. Dragons need to stop here. And they jump off sides.
That's what you don't need right there.
And they jump off sides. No discipline. So now it'll be a 3rd down and 1, which they undoubtedly will convert. As they move up to around the 43-yard line.
You got to shake it off, get ready.
And wait till the ball snap. 3rd down and 2 after the 5-yard penalty. And they're going to give to Franklin, who converts it, and he wants a lot more. And he's at the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
Same play they ran a while ago on the touchdown earlier. I say a while ago when they scored last time. Right up the middle. They ran it to perfection.
Touchdown Haynesville on the run from Toby Franklin, 57 yards for the score. It's 40-28, a 12-point ball game. Can't jump off sides.
Mr. Green checking in. So Haynesville showing all indications they are going for 2.
Yeah, I think you got to at this point in the game. You're up 2 possessions, but you'd like to get it back to 14 if you can. And so still Junction City is going to have to score twice, but it would certainly help if they could get a stop here, because it gives you a little leniency on a 2-point try. It would keep it a 6-point game if you can score. And really nowhere to go. Nicely done by the Dragons. Timeout on the field. 5:48 to play. 4th quarter action. Dragons trail by 12. They're going to have to strike quickly. We're back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. They're trailed by 12. They've got 2 timeouts to work with. And it's been a frustrating fourth quarter so far for the Dragons. Had Haynesville 3rd and 8, and a offsides penalty by the defense led to a 3rd down and 2, which they converted in 57 yards to pay dirt. And the Dragons are going to need to start here with a good field position on the return, Wayne.
And they're going to need a quick score, Jacob. Be honest with you, they got to strike fast if they can. First things first, you got to get the first score.
It's going to be a different kicker here.
Yep.
Won't be Franklin, which after running 57 yards while battling cramps, I would reckon they'd probably want to put somebody else in to kick it away as well. And that one's going to bounce at around the 20. Williams will field it at the 15. He'll run right up the middle. He'll get to the Dragons sideline. It's going to be a good return for Jadavian. He's hit out of bounds, but I believe he's going to cross the 35, Wayne, and so it should be good field position here for Junction City with 5:42 to play in the ball game.
Yep, you're going to have a real good field position, and like I said, you need a quick strike, quick score if you can get it. Because if you don't and you do score, then you're definitely onside kick, which I figured we're already there.
Yeah, I think at this point you probably would have to try something like that. But now the focus is on finding the end zone because none of that matters if you can't score here. 1st down and 10 for the Junction City Dragons. 2 timeouts to work with, and we've got whistles.
Haynesville timeout. Personnel was not lined up right.
Personnel issues for the Golden Tornado. We're going to keep it here. And so, Wayne, you talk about what they need to do after they score, and that definitely has to be in the minds of the coaching staff over there. I know you're obviously coaching in the moment, but you still have to be prepared to know that, okay, what are we going to do if this happens? What are we going to do when if we can find the end zone, especially quickly? The best case scenario for Junction City is they score on this drive, but they do it quickly. They don't take that much time off the clock because Haynesville's running an offense. Right. That can eat clock, and they're going to get to the line, and they're not going to be in a hurry to snap the football. And with only 2 timeouts to work with, you kind of find yourself behind the 8 ball as far as that's concerned. So you really, really need to score quickly here.
And you won't, like Junction's got 2 timeouts. Like you would love to save those 2 timeouts if you could. If you could score on this possession, then you have the 2 timeouts to work with. Because you got to look at it like this: if Haynesville gets the ball, even if they don't do anything, if you have no timeouts to work with, they are going to burn almost 2 minutes off the clock.
Exactly.
If you got those 2 timeouts, you can cut it down dramatically.
And they give to Williams. He's going to run over left side. He's got the 1st down the sideline. He's still running. He loses the football, but it's going to go out of bounds. What a run by Jordavian Williams. Wayne, I thought he was just going to be pushed out of bounds. He found what little seam there was over there on the far hashes, and he hit every bit of it and moved all the way down to the 35-yard line. I believe that's a gain of 37 yards.
Jacob, I thought they had him pinned in as he got around the corner. I said, well, he's going to get a couple yards there, get out of bounds. That'll work. And he keeps going.
1st and 10 for Junction City. Clock at 5:15, 5:14. It's ticking. They give to Williams, and he's going to be hit, but not before he picks up about 2, maybe 3 yards. I think he's changed jerseys, Wayne. I think there was some issues with his jerseys. Now in 10. One thing's for sure, it's hard to miss that frame. It's hard just the way he runs. He's got a distinct way that he runs. They could put him out there in 99, and we'd know it's him.
We'd know it's him.
4:50 clock. Time not in the favor of the Dragons. Going to have to hurry here.
Got to speed it up.
Got to play with some urgency. 2nd down and 8. Johnson's going to keep it. He's going to work to the right side. He's going to throw. He's got Allen. Incomplete.
You got to get that.
Overthrew him, but still had it in his hands. They had that one dialed up. That was 6.
That was 6 points right there. I know it was a high throw. You have to pull that in. And now hold everything, Jacob.
Yeah, I believe that's the clock. That's the clock running on an incompletion again here in Red Franklin Memorial. I I believe we heard one of our coaches say we just lost 15 seconds. That's actually 26 if you count the 11 Junction City lost back in the third quarter when it ran after an incompletion. Not that anybody's keeping count. And so they technically only give us back the 10 that we lost. But I guess, we'll take what we can get. Living for scraps here in Claiborne Parish. 4.5 to play, fourth quarter action. Trailing by 12, but Junction City in Golden Tornado territory. Out of the pistol. Gonna throw. Gonna be a quick pass and incomplete.
I'm not sure Ryan was running a different route than what.
And time is still going off the clock. What is going on?
You know those saying you think you've seen it all? Now they're going to fix it. They're putting the time back. I don't know what's going on, but they still did not get the time right. But you take what you got. I don't know on that last play. I'm not sure what happened, Jacob.
Just miscommunication.
Ryan like he was miscommunicated. Like Ryan was wanting to run a go route, and Johnson thought he was supposed to be slanting.
And again, they're going to throw the slant. This was Jacob Smith. He goes down to get it. On fourth down, Smith goes down, and he's got it. Nicely done from Jacob Smith. He had a big 40-yard touchdown catch last week. But I'll tell you what, Wayne, that catch is bigger than that one because that keeps the Dragon drive alive, and the clock's going to continue to run. It's done that often here in the fourth quarter. And Junction City with the downs reset.
They got to hurry.
First down, they've got to hurry. Johnson, stretch give's going to go to Williams. He's met in the backfield, nowhere to go. 4 minutes to play. Dragons going to have to hurry. 3:49 on the clock. Down by 12, 40-28. Going to work out of the shotgun. Johnson wanted to throw. He's being pressured in the backfield. Throws, and it is incomplete. Two Haynesville players basically broke it up. It was going to be in the hands of one of them. Credit Johnson. He's trying to make a play. But fortunately for Junction City, the ball hits the ground.
And we got two players down.
Two players down. It's the two that collided. We're going to step aside. We're back in 30 seconds on the Dragon Sports Network. Helped up and off the field under their own power. 3rd down and 12 now for Junction City. Johnson to throw, pump fakes, and he's going to throw it up, and it is incomplete, knocked away by Green. Single coverage out there on the far side of the field. And now Junction City quickly facing a 4th down again with 3.5 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Yep, I was surprised that they didn't have Johnson rolling out, maybe, like a little. Just let him roll to the outside, and if you don't have it, tuck it and make some moves.
Yeah, you'd like to see him maybe put a little bit more air on that too.
Yeah.
He put a heck of a spin on it. I'll give him that. But might want to try to let his playmaker go up and high point it because he's got a couple of inches on the corner that's covering him.
Yep.
4th down and 12. You got to think this is the ball game. Johnson, he's going to throw on the run up the left side, and it is incomplete. It is incomplete. I couldn't tell if that was dropped or not. It was hard to tell if it got into his hands or if it was the defensive back that knocked it away.
Defensive back.
And Junction City turns it over on downs with 3:24 to play. And Wayne barring a turnover, you got to think it's going to be extremely hard for the Dragons to get back into this one.
Yeah, that right there didn't help the cause none at all. Like I said, a little surprised we kept going to the end zone with Johnson in his playmaking ability. You think he gets to the outside, give him the choice. Hey, if you ain't got nobody, tuck it, make something happen. And then if you get a first down or if he gets a big gain, then you come back and hit him with Williams.
3:24 to play. Haynesville offense out on the field, and a good defensive effort there. Brian Estrada or excuse me, Estrada was also in on the tackle.
And your man Norman.
And Norman.
Ball will be placed for the 25.
And here we go, Wayne.
Yeah.
You're not going to see much hurry out of the black jerseys here.
No. The question is when do you burn the timeouts? That's going to be the question.
I think if you can keep them into something that's a 3rd and a 6 or a 7 here, I think you use
You got to burn one.
because you need 2 scores, and you got to give your chance to at least get the first one. 6 on the play clock. Haynesville in no hurry. 2:44. Clock moving south, and they're going to give to Franklin, and he's going to run through one arm tackle. He's going to run by another guy, and he's got a couple of steps on the only guy that can get there. And he stops to stiff arm a man, and he lost the football, or nearly lost the football. One thing's for sure, you get a little cocky down there. Some things might not end up in your favor. You're trying to stiff arm a man. With 2.5 to play, big run there for Haynesville.
Yeah, a couple of officials were talking to a few of the players.
Well, a couple of the Haynesville coaches are talking to a few of the players, and they're
Yeah.
not wearing black jerseys. They're actually in white ones.
Yeah, it's getting.
And so the clock's actually going to be inching closer to 2 minutes before the next snap. 10 on the play clock. About a 3-second difference so far with the game clock. And did they have to call another timeout?
Yeah.
And I believe they did. We're going to take it with them. We'll be back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. .204 to play from Red Franklin Memorial Stadium. 40-28 is our score. Haynesville in Junction City territory, at the Dragon 28-yard line. Golden Tornado had to burn a timeout. Of course, I have noticed, Wayne, that when they burn timeouts, they don't take them off the scoreboard. Time, on the other hand, gets taken off when it shouldn't, but the timeouts don't.
I guess the best way to put it, it is what it is. You know, you look at the situation here. It's not good. 2:04 to go, and they got the ball with a first down. But if you're the Dragons, you dig in there and you keep fighting.
I wonder if they do realize they don't have to run time down here because it's coming out of a timeout.
And hold everything.
And now we've got whistles and another flag on the far side of that come from the far side of the field. Did the receiver on the far side jump?
Yeah, he did.
Holy cow. He is out there on the far side of the field all by himself in an offense that has thrown 4 times tonight, and he jumped.
Hey, this was
when his blocking assignment is when his assignment, it's not even to make contact, it's to run 3 yards and then head to the sideline so the next guy can bring the play in. Oh my goodness. You said it earlier.
You got one job to
just
do.
when you think you've seen it all.
Oh, you got one job to do, son.
2:04 to play, coming out of the penalty. First down and 15. Dragons need a turnover. That's what it's going to amount to here. They need a turnover. And they're going to give to Green. He's carrying it. And he's going to wrap up. And now they're going to throw a flag on that. Holy cow.
Oh, my gosh. All you can do is laugh. It ain't even worth saying nothing. It just let it go. Wow. Really? And the worst part of it is the player was holding up.
Soft like Sharman.
Yep. When Brad Smith sees that on the coach's film,
oh my goodness,
I wouldn't want to be sitting beside him.
Well, when he sees never mind.
Never mind.
I'm just going to bite the old tongue. Jacob, 1:57 to play. Fourth quarter action. Haynesville after the penalty. At the 15, they're going to give to Franklin. He's going to barrel forward for a handful of yards. And he's slow to get up, which obviously no need to hurry. By the time this one's snapped, Wayne, there should be around 70 seconds remaining. And if I'm Junction City, timeouts really don't do you any good.
No,
you might as well just bow up and keep them out of the end zone and get back to the drawing board.
And that's probably the best thing to do. The effort tonight.
It was outstanding.
Yeah, Coach Smith will be very pleased with that.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was about to throw. I was like, goodness, why would you throw to potentially stop the clock? But it's just going to be a designed quarterback run. And we should be just one play away from this one being in the books.
Thirty-six.
50 seconds to play in the ball game. Haynesville just really needing to just snap the ball one more time.
Yeah, if they manage it right here, and I'm sure they will, that'll be it.
And clock's under 30 seconds to play, and this should be the final snap. And it will be. Going to be a little bit of a reverse, and a good tackle by Norman. There's a little pride there, playing like the front of the jersey means something. And now we've got a flag coming in from the backside, trying to meet a quota here late as the clock stops with 18 seconds to play. Face mask on Junction City. And that's going to put Haynesville at the 4-yard line of Junction City. Just clock's going to start, and really they don't have to take a snap.
They don't have to take a snap.
They don't have to take a snap.
You ain't even got to get under center. And that's what
they're going to do.
Yeah,
2, 1, and that will do it. That will do it. A hard-fought effort by Junction City. It is 40-28. That's our final. Haynesville over the Dragons. And that's a tough one, Wayne. Junction City in it right up until really the midway point of the fourth quarter, and then it just kind of started getting away from them.
Well, at one point you had a chance to go for the lead, and on first down they throw the interception. We talked about it, just a few plays. Sometimes 4 or 5 plays make the difference.
Sure did.
If you take away the interception that was thrown, that eventually led to a touchdown, and you make something happen on that other drive, this could have been a whole different ball game. But nonetheless, you can sit here and analyze it 50 different ways. Hats off to Haynesville. Played a very good game. They took care of business, won it. We did not like some of the calls. I mean, it was pitiful, but that comes with football sometimes. And you got to live with that. On the other side, let's talk about the Dragons for a minute. First of all, congratulations to Coach Smith and them. They've been through a lot the last 12 so hours. You come in here without your starting quarterback. You come in here without some other starters, and you patch up, do what you got to do, and they go out here. And those good young men played a heck of a game. My hats off to them. I'm proud of them. They need to do this. They got to be a little smarter about that. You're going to hear that during the broadcast. But in the end, you go back and look, and you go, you know what? They come out here and played a whale of a game. They come out here and competed. You got a guy now that you can depend on. Williams showed his worth tonight. We've been bragging on him last 2 weeks. This kid could be really something. Tonight, he showed it. And you got to be pleased with that. Christopher Norman, how many times did you call his name tonight?
He was all over the place.
I mean, he was all over the place.
Defensive line play was solid.
The defensive line play was solid. Yeah, they got us on that fullback. But let's give Haynesville credit there. They ran it to perfection. Did a really good job of it. this is a game the Dragons can build on. You know, we're going to get in the truck. We're going to head back up to the border town, and we're going to be disappointed we lost. But at the same time, you've been in this program long enough to know this is a game that coaches can take and say, okay, look here, bud. Y'all played a heck of a game. You gave it a run for the money. Look what you can do. Look where you can improve. And look where we could be come November. So those are the positives to take from it. Other than that, you know, you just let them regroup and get ready for the next game.
Yeah, Wayne, this program wasn't built on moral victories, but it was built on working your tail off, fight, grit, determination, heart, and Junction City showed every bit of that and more tonight. Proud of the effort. Honestly, it didn't come out the way we wanted it to. It's going to show up as another tally in the loss column. But like you said, it's all about learning from the mistakes, moving forward, and being able to use what you learned tonight, the effort that you gave tonight, next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. And if you do that, like you said, you know, and I'll go ahead and say this. Seems like everybody in the state's kind of just counted Junction City out. You know, it's not their year. Dragons are down. They're 2-2. Goodness gracious, just not Junction City's year. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that.
We'll see. I feel say it like that. Let me throw one more name. Hudson tonight, coming out of at the tight end position, making some plays. You get the Bows back, and there's dimensions to work with. You got Williams now. You got Johnson. And let me tell you something. You put Johnson back here at tailback, and then you got a decoy to go with it. In other words, is Johnson getting the ball here? They got to respect that. So there's some positives to hang on. You know, you go on back to the border town, you regroup, and we get ready to head to BB. Other than that, you know, Dragons fall to 2-2. Next week we go to BB, a bye week, and then the game that's going to settle the conference, best way to put it. For Jacob Pumphrey, Denton Ashcraft, I want to thank 42 Sports for being here tonight. Mr. Alan Russell, great job coming down here and joining us on game night and then helping us out on the scoreboard a little bit. He wanted to check out Junction. He wanted to see the tradition down here in Haynesville, and we hope he got to. Want to thank Denton tonight. We had him super busy. We had to, last minute, we were going to work from the stands, and then we saw that it was going to be a little bit more rain than we thought, so we had to hustle up here and get us a spot. Appreciate what he does always, and especially tonight, working under the conditions he had to work under. For Jacob Pumphrey, Denton Ashcraft, I'm Wayne Pumphrey. Y'all have a wonderful, safe weekend. We'll see you next week from BB.